It's your boy Big Chew, the voice of the beat.
You know what I want?
Blaze up.
Come on, blaze up.
It's the beat for me.
Wah 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 wah. For your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we are. For your boy. For your boy. Also for your boy. Fix it for your boy. Drop it for your lift it up.
Hey y'all. Oh girl, this lipstick look crazy on my lips. Girl, what did I buy? I'm sorry. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Welcome in. You guys, we got a good one today. We're gonna talk about the Boule. A lot of people aren't sure about the Boule. They don't know much about it. And we're gonna get into some things. Let me say this, y'all, before we get started. I gotta be honest. I'm conflicted. I'm not conflicted because, of anything that's going on. Well, it is because of things that's going on. So I need to move Educational Fridays to its own thing. The reason is I am being shadow banned, period. I know that for sure on the main page, but I feel like the deeper I get into these topics, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna get worse and worse and worse. So what I'm thinking is I need to either pick the main page or the backup page to host Educational Fridays, or create a whole new, page, period, So I'm thinking I might create a whole new page, period. I think I might do that. I think I might just create a whole new page, period, and do everything from there. I was thinking about the backup page, but the backup page is actually growing exponentially. And I know how it is with YouTube or whatever. And I want both pages to grow because I want it to be, I want both pages to be what they are. But I also want to make sure that I bring you guys this information. So I feel like I need to create a whole new educational, and I'm not going to call it Educational Friday, but a new page. And just make it go from there. That way I can keep that away from this. Does that make sense? I think I'm gonna do that. I think a lot of people saying a new page. I think I'm gonna do that. But we're here now. If I'm shadow banned, which I'm pretty sure I am, girl, let me tell y'all something. On my main page, girl, I was getting 10,000 subs a month at least. And then all of a sudden, when I went to prison, to YouTube prison, and then I came back and I was kind of getting it back up. And then when I started, woo-the wham wham, then here we are. So with that being said, it seems like everybody is saying a new page. I think that's what I'm gonna go with too. I'm gonna do a new page. I will let you guys know what it is and where it is. And then we'll go from there. And but as of today, we are already here. So it is what it is, We already here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Just FYI, you guys, I am giving away gifts for your kids via Amazon. All you guys are gonna have to do is basically create a registry in Amazon, put whatever it is you want up to the amount you want, and then I'm sorry, y'all. And then send it to me. Send me the link. I will buy it. I've been doing that the past couple of weeks. It's been working really, really, really well, to be honest. I love it. I love seeing the kids get their stuff. I love everybody being able to have something, for their kids, because I understand how the holidays is. I get it. I know how it is. So I want to make sure I can give back to my people. So with that being said, Educational Friday, like I said, gonna be on another page. And then right now we here. So this is gonna be what it is. But we're here. And then basically what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give away some gifts. So pay attention to the topics. And we'll go from there. Fatima, you ain't lying. Talk about they didn't move. Girl, listen. And it's crazy because DJ Rob's blog had hit me up and we was kind of talking about it over the text. Yes, if you won last week or the week before, don't please try to give other people the opportunity. We want everybody to get a chance to get something for their kids. So I was talking to somebody, DJ Rob's blog, and we was just back and forth over text. And it was crazy that he mentioned it to me because I was already thinking about that. Y'all, please like the video, get it in the algorithm. I was already thinking about it when I got his text. So I was just like, okay, confirmation. You know what I mean? So we ain't tripping on that. Just like I got what I got before, I'll get it back. It's not the end of the world. I'll get it back. But I just know that I need to separate, the things, and we're gonna make this the Joe's channel. The backup page gonna be the message channel, and then we're gonna have an educational channel. And I don't know what I'm gonna call it. Y'all come up with some names, I don't know what to call it, but we'll get to it. I'm gonna have that done before next week. So anyway, I'm also getting ready to set up merch. You guys, please let me know what kind of merch you would like. I know obviously t-shirts. I know obviously mugs. Those are obvious things. But please let me know what you guys would like to use or to have for your merch, because I want to get the store up and running. I want to get not store, but the web page up and running. I got I want to say my membership is up and running as well. I think it is. I don't know. If it is what it is. But I want to do that. Author Empress said, I like Educational Friday as the name. That could be it too, but what if we doing it on Monday? Let's see the education giving it. I agree with all of your positions, but I appreciate you making the brain cells reactive. Thank you, Ranika Hernandez. I really appreciate you. Y'all crazy. Oh, the earrings. Thank you. I'm the one and only for thinking of that. So remember I told y'all I went to Vegas. I went to Vegas and I went to see my best friend in October for Halloween. And we went to this dance shop because I needed some tights. So what I did was, it was a black-owned lady and her daughter makes earrings. I don't know if y'all seen that last pair of earrings with the afro and the the afro and the what you call them? That was the same little girl. This is the people. Can y'all see that? I'm gonna hold it up for y'all to see. Let me see. Is that too much? What's the name of this? It's called Untamed Leathers Handcrafted Jewelry. www.untamedleather.com. I'm pretty sure she makes them, because I'm gonna order me some. Let me put this in the chat. Untamed Leather.com. I am going to be buying some more stuff as well. This is a young black girl, so you guys go support if y'all can. She's making these things from herself, so this is amazing. So y'all, shout out to this young lady. All right, y'all. What else? What other housekeeping? The unlearning. Ooh, I like that, D Holmes. I like that. I like that. What about Wake Up? I like that, ST Ferguson. I like that. Wake Up for the new channel. A shirt that says tap in fat. Listen, I got so many little sayings I could put on this stuff now. Y'all just got to let me know the top. I know They Said is a top one. I know that's a top one. Most people know me by They Said. So I know that's a top one. What else is a top one? Fat. What else? I be forgetting half of the stuff I say, and it just be coming out, Somebody said Voodoo School of Thought. That's different. I saw that somewhere. Bianca, yay. High Frequency said we need fat t-shirts. I think so too. We definitely gonna get the fat t-shirts. Y'all let me know though, for real. I'm actually getting ready to start that right now. Go lay down. Oh, that's definitely Do you hear me? That is gonna be the number 2. Go lay down. That's gonna be on there for sure. Educational Friday t-shirt as well. Okay. Stay woke. Y'all coming up with some good ideas. Linda's and Leonard's. Awakening education. I like that. But Go Lay Down is definitely gonna be one of them for sure. We definitely about to get this merch popping. Les Joe's definitely gonna be one, girl. Tracy, Les Joe's. Hi, let me see. Hi, can you say my name, Kathy? If you alive right now, I just want to make sure I'm watching oh, Kathy is my name. Please say Kathy. Okay, yeah, Kathy, we live. Now, Glitz and Glam, I didn't know if I want to do they said, I didn't say it, but they said, like maybe like they said on the front. And I don't know, y'all, put it all in the same. I didn't say it, but and then they said or whatever. Definitely got to do they said on there. But anyway, yo, I'm happy y'all got all of these. Y'all got all of these things. Oh, and learn what you know. I like that, T. Roberts. I like that. But anyway, let's get into it, girl. We already here. It is what it is. I just know moving forward, I gotta swiggle a little different, Girl, somebody got beef. What happened? I think we got an issue. What happened? Who just sent me that? Hold on, y'all. Girl, I think we got an issue. Oh, this from a post. I'm so me. Who this is? August Elstina, a double dose of luxury. August. Oh, a double dose of luxury. I call that a Jose. I see what she's saying. Maybe because she said, I thought it was because he was on the video with another male. But Jose is not my word, so I can't be. You know what I mean? I didn't make that up. That's a New Orleans slang. That's what we do. Everybody Jose. Tracy said YouTube is beyond wild today. Do you hear me? Beyond wild. Okay, let's get into it. He's selling Les Jose. Wait, who put a lay in front of Jose, girl? Come on now. Come on. Les Jose promotes his new fragrance with his friend Zoe. Have you tried it? Oh, come on now. You already gave us an L in New Orleans. Somebody say, I bet it smell like pussy. Girl, I know you lying. A voice memo of New York. Thought modification, girl. Y'all cutting up. Definitely could do that. Jay said it. I definitely could do that for the mug set. For sure, I could definitely do that. Let's get into it. So, all right. Scholarship, like I said, pay attention, answer the questions. If you already answered the question, wait, did I read that super chat? Thank you, Philly John, for the super chat. All love for the kids. Happy Educational Friday. Thank you so much, Philly John, for the super chat. I truly, truly appreciate y'all. Y'all, please get the likes up. Let's get this doggone video in the algorithm because I can see already, and I'm broadcasting from 2 channels. I got 121 on the main channel. And where's my pen? It's already shadow banning, girl. So let's get the likes up so we can get this up in here. Let me see. They already starting with that craziness, girl. And 63 on the backup channel. Come on now. We already know what it is. But we already here. Let's get into it. So yesterday when we were on live, we were speaking about the clear man who did an interrogation. Oh no, Teddy baby, I'm sorry. You gotta laugh on the inside. You can't laugh on the outside. You gotta laugh on the inside. So look. So hey, I'm Blackness Journey. Look, y'all. Look. Hey, doll. Hey, boo. Hey, Latress. Let me see. All right. So on the last live we did yesterday, a clear man who was being interrogated for crimes against the Trump family at the Trump hotel. He was one of those guys who was brand new. He was a brand new citizen of America. Very what's the word you want to use? He was very patriotic. That's the word. He was very patriotic. And what he did was he became a citizen and he knew some things in the background that he wanted to bring to the foreground, which is why he, whatever the case may be. Now, within that, without provoking, with no questions asked, he volunteered Diddy. Brother Love, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Puffy. How many names the nigga done had? He done had about 11 names. So, anywho, girl, I'm about to knock my whole button out, girl. So, anywho, he volunteered that information and he said, people do not know this. And he had to preface this by saying, I'm not racist, because, black people are so sensitive that we always think anytime a white person or a clear person says something negative, it automatically means they're racist. In most cases, that is. But when you're receiving information, to me, I block all of that out. I'm trying to hear what you got to say. But for his own safety, because he was being interrogated by a black investigator, he said, I'm not racist. I'm from Africa, which don't mean nothing because you're still a clear man. They got clear racist people in Africa, like 90 going west, But anyway, so he said, I'm not racist. I didn't like the fact that he brought up, he had a black nanny who he said reared him. That means raised him. And he was like, so yeah, I love black people. You don't have to say all that, sir, because you might be racist or whatever. Hit the like button when y'all get in here. Hit the like button. We about to get into it. But he brought up the fact that he said people didn't know that Diddy is a part of the Boule. And he said the Boule is a subsection or an attachment to the light brights. We just gonna call them light brights. We're gonna do a lot of other words in this chat because I'm trying to see something. You guys. When I ask you questions, if it's one of those unforbidden words, like for the JJs, we gonna call them jelly beans. If y'all know what I'm talking about, you'll know as I get to talking. For the top SS, we're gonna call them. I just need y'all to put the emoji in the chat of the skull instead of let's. I'm just trying to test something out, But anyway, you'll get it as I go to it. So he said that it was basically another section, but the black section of that group, the light brights. So I'm saying, oh snap. I didn't know Diddy. Now I know the TD Jakes and them's. It's typically pastors, politicians, all of those things, typically because all of those things, it be all of those people. I'm sorry, I'm reading the comments. Let me start reading the comments. Typically, it's all of those type of people, but it never dawned on me that it would be somebody like Diddy. But then again, I had to go back and think about it. Look at Jay-Z. If you don't believe Jay-Z has any power or any type of association with that, you're crazy. So if Jay-Z is a background type of dude, because Jay-Z is not loud, you don't see him on social media, he don't do none of that. Who would be the perfect person you need to put in the foreground, who's already up there that everybody know? Diddy. It makes all the sense in the world. Yes, Tracy's take. I want you to trick the algorithm. That's exactly what I want y'all to do. Because I'm doing a test. So I would like for you guys to trick the algorithm. Like I said, yep, this is the emoji right here. I would prefer to use as I speak on these things. And if y'all want to say something in the chat, use that emoji. The unmentionables, we're gonna call them jelly beans. I'm just trying to see something. I know they've been out since the 90s, country slang. I know. All right, so I said we need to do on the Boule. Now, before I get to the Boule, let me say this. I'm already going to do a educational Friday or a video on the Divine Nine, the D9. That's your AKAs, your Deltas, your Omegas, your Kappas, all of that. That is happening factual. But I also said, in order for me to actually cover that correctly, I need to get everything in. I need everybody to understand that there are so many moving pieces to this thing, but they are all related. So Philly John, we're not going to touch the topic as a whole today, but we are going to talk about the D9s. So because you got to understand the D9s and the Boule, you feel me? But we're going to get into it. So as that happened, I went and did some research on the Boule. And I asked I asked a whole lot of people what they think the Boule was. A lot of people was like some rich people in New Orleans. I know before I knew what it was, I thought it was like the Poisson Blanc, black people in New Orleans, the gatekeepers. And when I say Poisson Blanc, that's what we call it in New Orleans. It's French for Poisson passing, Blanc white passing. Do you guys know what white passing is? Poisson Blanc is literally the same thing. And typically in New Orleans, there is a culture of Poisson Blanc black people who basically are sort of the gatekeepers on this whole thing. You're on a lot of things that we don't know about, you know. So anyways, because of that, I can see why people would think that. Did you watch the channel that's all about the Boule? I don't know what channel you're talking about, G Powell. Yes, they are. But we're gonna get into, listen, let me start this whole thing off by saying this. There's nothing new under the sun. But we know the clear people don't really create, they just colonize. That's why in the movie Wakanda, remember they colonizer. Remember they kept saying that? That's not a new term. It's always been used. But you have to understand that a lot of times the colonizers or the clear people, when they take stuff, they turn it into bad and then use it for their advantage, if it makes sense. But what we don't understand is the Boule only exists because of the relationship with the jelly beans. So let me tell you a story, then we're going to get into it. So the jelly beans, we all know who they are. You don't have to put the name in the chat. The jelly beans are the people who run that round thing, right? So the jelly beans needed a way to control the Negroes. They had to find a way to control the Negroes. Now, they could use force. They can use whatever it is they can. But ultimately, at some point, it's not going to reach the masses like any other thing that has in the past or will in the future for them. Keep in mind, in order for us to go into any type of slavery, in order for any human being or any group of people to go into any type of slavery, you have to psychologically enslave them first. What does that mean? You have to get inside their brains and make them reactive and not reactive. Yeah, well, reactive and make them obedient to certain things, right? That's a big one, Poems by Kia. I noticed that too. The majority of major celebrities for sure are definitely D9. Ricky Smiley, Stephen A. Smith, all of them, mostly all of them. Yes, Daniela Rodriguez, mental conditioning. It makes you docile because you know how like the Bible say you have to it said in there slaves listen to your masters in blah 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 blah, and then the clear people took that and used that as, oh yeah, see, look what the Bible say. You have to be obedient. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like that. So what happened is, let me take this off. So what happened is the jelly beans needed a way to control the Negroes. So what they did was they enlisted some Poisson Blancs. What do we know that Poisson Blanc is? White passing Negroes. And a lot of times you got to think of the psyche of the Poisson Blanc person. Think of the psyche. You guys also, please make sure you are at the ending part of this video. Make sure you are as current and up to date with this video, because with the, I don't know, it seems like with the ads, a lot of times people be behind. So make sure everybody check your video. Make sure you at the most current part of this video right now so you can be up to date when I get to the question. So boom. So they decided to enlist the help of the Poisson Blanc, the white passing black Negroes, and the psyche of those Negroes is almost like, unfortunately, but it's almost like that of a biracial black person, a biracial person that is consists of black and clear. The reason that is because there's a conflict there, right? And a biracial person is like, okay, I'm half black, I'm half clear, but I'm having issues on the clear side because they say I'm black. And then when I go to the black side, they say, oh, well, you not black enough. So it's kind of the identical thing when it comes to the Poisson Blanc people, because they know that they're black, but they have the card. They have that slam dunk card to say, oh yeah, I can pass for this. Have y'all seen that movie on Netflix called White Passing? So good. If you ever see it, I'm gonna give you the premise of the movie. It was this black lady who looked white. She was and she passed for white. She got a husband. She was all into the white spaces and all of that. But a girl she went to school with, who she knew way back in the day, knew she was black. But she said to her friend, she said, girl, please. She said, listen, do not let anybody know that I'm black, because if my husband find out I'm black, he will literally unalive me. So long story short, the husband ends up finding out she is in fact a Poisson Blanc, white passing, and he ended up pushing her ass out the window and unaliving her. That's literally what happened. And I feel like with those people, because they have that card, that Trump card that they can pull, I think it gives them this access to that people, or to that status, and that access kind of blurs them. You know what I mean? Because think about it. If you could be in a better situation than the one you're in, you're going to be in it. It's human nature. It's literally how things work. So that's just my theory on why they choose the Poisson Blanc. Maybe because they know that, hell, they one step from Blanc. And then also their psyche is a little different than the dark Negro. The house niggas' psyche is way different from the field Negro. You get what I'm saying? So anyway, they enlisted the help of the Poisson Blancs, and they said, hey, y'all, we need help, all allegedly. So then the Poisson Blancs was like, okay, but hey, can we join your society? And the clear people was like, hell no. The jelly beans? Psh, hell no. Niggas, you crazy? Please. However, you can create your own. Now, that's just the watered down version of it. If you look at the conspiracy side of this thing, it's way deeper than no, you can create your own, because they literally mirror everything in the jelly beans' directory, or in their books. So this fraternity, let me pull it up. I'm going to show you who these guys are. Let me pull it up. Where's my email? Let me pull it up so you guys can see who these people are. And then we're going to get into some things. I got some stuff. Steve Coakley, I got some stuff from him. I got a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to get into it, though. We already here, so it is what it is. And let the chips fall where they may. Now, look. Let me share my screen. You know what? Before I show y'all the picture, let's just go over the founders. Let's just go over how this all came about. And then I'm going to show y'all the photos. Let me see. Oh, but another thing. This fraternity was prior to the Divine Nine. This came out in May 15, 1904. We're going to read it. Let's just read it. The Divine Nine came out in 1906. So this precursors or predates the Divine Nine. Okay, let's read this article. And let's go from here. All right. Now, this is from blackpast.org. So this is a reputable site. Like I told you guys, when you're doing research online, especially in the age of Google, your most reputable sites, not saying that they're the truest or they're true, it's just your most reputable sites will always end in .com. No, I'm sorry, God, no. .org, .edu. If you're doing military, .mil, you know what I mean? Like stuff like government, .coms or .sites, those are your most reputable sites. It's almost like, for instance, I went online one time because I wanted to get a no, I had to change my address. And I went to USPS, but I didn't go to the .gov. I went to the .com, and they they scam my ass. You see what I'm saying? So when we looking at any type of resources for any type of thing, first of all, if you see Wikipedia, run the other way. Don't even look at Wikipedia unless you need a photo. Don't even look at Wikipedia, okay? Definitely not .net for sure. But when it comes to these type of things, this is a .org site, blackfraternity.org. This is, I don't listen, because I don't want to get too conspiracy theory into this thing, but let's just say for what we're doing, this is a reputable source. Let's get into it. So, Sigma Pi Phi fraternity, the Boule, a brief overview, 1904. Now, watch, I'm about to show y'all something that's crazy. I ain't donating no shit. I ain't got no money. All right, look. These are the foundings. These are the founding fathers, right? We got Henry McKee Minton. He's the actual founder. Mind you, this is made of a bunch of doctors, and I believe they're highly educated Black people. And if you guys see something familiar about all of these folks, are they all not Poisson Blanc? Yes, they are. So we got Henry McKee Minton. Then we have, how do you say his name? Algernon Brashear Jackson. Brashear. Oh, ain't that boy name from Empire? Brashear. Girl. Edwin Clarence Joseph Tuplin Howard. He's a medical doctor. Then we got Richard John Warwick. Then we got Robert Jonas Abel. And then we have Eugene Theodore Henson. All right, he's a medical doctor as well. Let's go down and read about these people. In the article below, you're making a lot of noise. In the article below, Rodney J. Reed, former grandsire, archon of Sigma Pi Phi fraternity, and author of A Grand Journey, The History of Sigma Pi Phi Fraternity, 1904 to 2010, briefly outlines the history of the oldest continuously existing Black Greek fraternity in the United States. This predates anything Divine Nine. It says, founded on May 15, 1904, Sigma Pi Phi fraternity, also known as the Boule, which in ancient Greece was a council of chiefs, is the oldest continuously existing Greek letter post-grad fraternity, originally founded by and primarily for eminent Black professional men and later similar professional men of African descent throughout the world. The part they're not mentioning is Boule. It also means advisor to the king. Keep that in mind. Boule also has another meaning of advisor to the king. See, these people want to paint the picture, so they're not going to put that in here. So they're saying it's council of chiefs, but I'm telling you, the other meaning is advisor to the king. Let's move on. Its founders were 6 exceptional men, 4 medical doctors, 1 dentist, and 1 pharmacist, who at the time was a second-year medical school student. It says these men recognized these advantages of belonging to a special fraternity that would enhance and support professional careers and social relationships while simultaneously providing leadership and assistance to facilitate the enhancement and elevation of such undeserved Black communities as those from which they mostly came and in which they professionally existed. Now, really quickly, you guys, I have a serious question. You guys are Black. I'm pretty sure you guys, most of us did not come from the most prominent of the Black communities. A lot of us didn't come from upper middle class or rich high class communities. Just out of curiosity, if you have seen the Boule do anything in your community, please put a 1 in the chat. If you have seen or heard of the Boule even in your community, put a 1 in the chat. If not, then we all know this is a bunch of hogwash. You know what I'm saying? Because I know as a person of the community, I ain't never seen them. I don't even know who they is. So, but they're saying that this is why they created this place or this fraternity. Ty, you've seen the Boule in your community? I have never. If you have, then you one of many. You one of few. I'm sorry. I've never seen them do anything for the community. I've never seen them give back or nothing, you know. Exactly, Menelik. We don't know these people. Or seen them. Exactly. Do they go by another name? Many names. You seen the Black Panthers? Y'all hit the like button. You seen the Black Panthers because they were actually active in the community. They created a free breakfast program to feed the children. They were there. They were in the community taking care of the community. So you will always hear people of a certain age say that they saw the Black Panthers because they were an active community. Why do you think it no longer exists? Does that make sense? So, okay. Now, this is what they said the reason they have this community is to help the Black community and give back to which they existed in the Black community. Armory, I know NAACP. Yeah, I done seen the place, but I ain't never seen the NAACP do anything for an African American or colored person. Never seen it. Never seen it. I'm just saying. But okay, let's move on. Because I want to show y'all something after this. He said these people were Henry McKee Minton, a registered pharmacist and second-year student at Philadelphia, Pennsylvania Jefferson Medical School. Algernon B. Jackson, a medical doctor, the first African-American graduate of the Jefferson Medical School. So they went to school together. Edwin Clarence Joseph Turpin Howard. Damn, how many names you got, nigga? A medical doctor who in 1869 was one of the first 2 Black graduates of Harvard Medical School. This is big. So the nigga with the 4 names, 5 names, Edwin Clarence Joseph Turpin Howard. He in 1869 was one of the first 2 Black graduates of Harvard Medical School. So far, he's the only one went to Harvard. All these other ones went down there to Pennsylvania. Okay. Then we have Richard John Warwick. He's a dentist because it's a DDS, a graduate of Philadelphia School of Dental Surgery. Eugene Theodore Henson, he's a medical doctor, graduate of University of Pennsylvania School of Medicine. And then Robert Jones Abelli, he's a medical doctor, and he's the first Black graduate of Philadelphia's then Hemingen Medical College, which is now Drexel University College of Medicine. Let me scroll down. So what we know so far is only one of these guys went to Harvard. The other ones all went to Pennsylvania. They all lived in Pennsylvania and went to college and medical school. The basic idea of the fraternity was conceived by Henry M. Minton, who was refined and enthusiastically supported by other founders. Well, what other founders if you're the first Black? Riddle me this, guys. He was refined and enthusiastically supported by other founders. If you're the first Black fraternity and the oldest, what other founders at the time would have supported you? Because you're the only. It would have to be the clear ones. That's at that time. Now, I'm not saying after he wouldn't have that, but you know what I mean? I'm just asking. Moving on, in its earlier years, and throughout most of its existence, Sigma Pi Phi fraternity was a quiet secret organization. Today, the fraternity can be considered private, and as was the case during its earlier years of existence, it avoids self-perpetuating publicity. Yet, throughout its life, in addition to the personal strength derived from the, how do you say this? Camaraderie, girl. You know I can't spell. I'm sorry, let's go back. In addition to the personal strength derived from the camaraderie shared by its members, the fraternity has embraced and remained committed to enhancing and elevating Black communities by striving to eliminate barriers therein to civic, social, political, educational, and economic, well-being through its social action programs and public policy initiatives. So they're saying that they're helping people eliminate the barriers for civic, social. Let's go back. Civic would be, I guess I would say civic is like Civics will be kind of like into politics, but also into like government and all of that type of stuff, I'm assuming. And then we got social, that's obviously being in the same circle with certain people. Political, obviously, that's self-explanatory. Educational is self-explanatory. Economic is the big one, because they're saying that their whole reason and their whole rhyme and reason for doing this is to promote economic well-being through its social action programs and public policy initiatives. All right. Growth of the fraternity since its founding has been deliberately slow, as it was not yet conceived to be a large, indiscriminate body of men. Rather, the emphasis of memberships has always been quality, not quantity. Thus, membership into the fraternity was in the beginning and continues to be extended selectively to outside men who are at minimum college graduates with recognized professional accomplishments and a record of demonstrable commitment to the enhancement of Black communities and their members. Let me be clear. Thank you, Diamond. She said civic, citizen, social, good public impact work. Thank you. So we got civic now. Citizen, social, good public impact work. Got it. Let me be clear about this, you guys. None of what they're saying that they're supposed to be doing is what they've done. Number one. Number two, you can't go and be in them. They have to select you. They look for you. You don't be like, oh, I want to be in this. Like, from what I'm told with the D9, it's the same way. You can't go up to them and say, can I join? They have to basically select you. So it's kind of the same thing. Remind you, this is the original, the first before D9. So D9 is going to take on a lot of things that was happening in Sigma Pi Phi, which is the Boule. Everybody in D9 is not Boule. You get it? However, there are a lot of them that are closely tied to it, if not members, but they are secret members, whatever. From an initial membership of 6 founders located in the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Sigma Pi Phi fraternity has grown to presently include over 5,000 active members who are affiliated with 139 member Boule chapters located throughout the United States and in the Bahamas and the UK. All right, we don't need to read no more of this. So look, this is what they're saying. Mind you, they needed to be palatable. They needed to be okay for you to digest. So this is why we get what we get when you look at this type of article, because they want you to be like, oh, that's not bad. It's just another fraternity. Like the Omegas, like the Kappas, like the Alphas. Like, it's just, they trying to help the Black community, and it's done like that for a reason, because they need you to not understand what's going on behind the curtain. Take a look at this photo and take a look at the name of this doggone fraternity. Sigma Pi Phi fraternity. Sigma Pi Phi. Let me show you something. Peep this. I got something to show y'all. Hold on. I got something that's gonna throw y'all off. Now, remember I told y'all the jelly beans had their own thing. Remember I told y'all that? And I said, hey, y'all, with the jelly beans, they was like, you can't come over here. But, ultimately, you could do your own thing. This is how it's being told to people. Check this out. This is the Jelly Beans organization. Let me let y'all see it. This right here is the Jelly Beans organization. Let me see. Am I on the right one? Yes. And the name of this one is Phi Sigma Pi. Listen, Lindas, and listen, Leonards. The Boule named theirs Sigma Pi Phi. The Clear people named theirs Phi Sigma Pi. I found that to be very alarming and very weird, because I'm sitting here saying, why are the names so similar? It's just one off. You see what I'm saying? Now, granted, these are the founding fathers of another fraternity, and they're saying they're February 14, 1916. I see that. But what I'm not understanding is, if the black Boule had their own thing, like there's no white Omegas. There's no white Kappas. You know what I mean? So like why? But that to me, it just showed me affiliation. It was kind of weird. But these are the jelly beans, and this is their organization, right? All right. Just switched around. Exactly. Now that one is the clear exclusive ones. Oh yeah. Mind you, keep in mind, y'all. When it comes to these organizations, it is a class system. If anybody is on my backup channel, I always talking about how like Natalie created a class system in that house on Baddies. She got Rolly over there thinking that she's bigger and better than everybody else. It's the same thing in the black community. This right here created a class system. So like if you around a bunch of Greek people, I have a bunch of friends that are Greeks. I've gone to conclave. That's the Q dog thing. I've gone to all of these things and I've seen them do the secret handshake, whisper in each other's ear, and I be like, what is they saying? What y'all doing? And he refused. They are sworn to secrecy, just like the jelly beans. You get it? But it's the same thing with Baddies. Baddies has created a social class system. Thank you, Gia Creighton. They have created a social class system, and you see what it does to people. Rolly ain't no better than nobody on no part of the earth. We all know this to be fact. But because Rolly has now became a part of a class system that in her mind, remember, I told you enslavement and everything starts in the psyche. In her mind, she's over there with Natalie. So she feels like she's better than Biggie. She's better than all those girls at the Plan B house. That's what I call it, the Plan B house. That's why they go over there and bully them girls and they have the issues that they have. That's the same concept that is taking place within the black community. There's a class system. Okay? All right. Now, I've heard that Ty said the Kappas called their convention the Boule. I could see that. Eastern Stars are the female Freemasons. We already know that. You know what I mean? Like, that's how that goes. My dad was a part of Phi Sigma Pi, but he looked like a clear man. You see what I'm saying? This is the part right here. Thank you, it's me, Lisa Lee. The exact same thought process of white supremacy. Y'all ever notice in today's society, back then, racists used to be the clear people. We used to fear being in around the clear people because we knew, with KKK and all of this stuff going on, we knew what time of day it was. In today's society, you got to look at the one who looked like you sitting next to you. Everybody in our community, not everybody, most of us in our community has a price. And because we all have a price, the people use that and manipulate us through that. That's literally what they do. And so now the clear man can step back and say, I ain't got to do shit. Let them do it to themselves. And it worked flawlessly. Do you hear me? Flawlessly. It worked flawlessly. Because it's black people holding other black people back from jobs. It happened on my job. It took for a black woman to become my supervisor. Keep in mind, the clear lady before her, I had issues with her. But when the black person became my supervisor, I was trying to figure out why I wasn't getting promoted. And it turns out through investigation, she didn't want me to get promoted. I'm talking about blacker than me. Are y'all listening to me? Blacker than me. Now, as long as we were on the same playing field at work, if she wasn't my supervisor and I wasn't hers, we was cool. Hey, girl, how did you watch Real Housewives? Yeah, I see the girl. Blah, 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 blah. The moment she got that promotion, psychologically, it put her in a different class system. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen, it's not all people's fault because it's just psychology. It's just the way the human brain works. We're naturally herd people. We're sheeple. Whether we want to admit it or not, 99.9% of the world, I don't care what color you are herd-like people. So when it came down to me getting promoted, and after investigation through the clear man, It turns out that the girl who blacker than me, hair nappier than mine, didn't want me to get promoted. But it's because psychologically she said, oh shit, I'm a supervisor now. Fuck the fact that me and you been friends for 4 years talking about the housewives and all of that. None of that means nothing, child. That's girl, whatever. Now I'm a supervisor. I'm in charge of you niggas. And I'm going to make sure that you don't wooty wham wham. And that's literally how it works in life. It works like that on all people. But we talking about our people right here. We talking about black, African, black, whatever, indigenous, anybody with melanin. That's the only reason this thing works, because they use us and because we have a price. They got the money. We got the resources. So they take their money and utilize it to get our resources. And a lot of time our resources is selling out. You get it? If we were not a part of that system, we would not be under the slavery that we under today in 2023. Today, I don't know if y'all noticed this. Yeah, we all still slaves. You know that, right? But look, it ain't just us. All of us are slaves. Clear people, Latina, we all are slaves. You know how I know? Remember when the panorama came around and them people said, hey, we got a little vaccine for y'all. And black people, hell no, that's some experimental stuff. I ain't fucking. But then when the clear people came back and said, you don't take this vaccine, I'm gonna take your job. How many niggas was standing in front of the clinic? Shoot me up, Doc. Come on, Doc. Shoot me up. Yeah. And this is how psychologically it plays on you. Those same black people who did not want to take the vaccine, who was in their mind forced because they didn't want to lose their jobs, what did they do to the black people who was against it? I know all people did this, but I'm talking about the niggas. Niggas ain't trusted medicine all their lives. But somehow, some way, soon as they got it, they became a part of a class system. I'm on the right side of this. You on the wrong side of this. I'll tell you this. I didn't get it. And I got the most shit from niggas who look like me. Because see, this is the difference. The clear people, they already know. They can't be overtly racist to you. They just can't. They can't fuck with you out in the open. They got to be sneaky and slide with it. They got to do some shit behind the scenes. But a nigga? Oh, that's different. So what happened was I was basically shunned because I did not make it into that class system, that social class that they were in, even though they themselves didn't want to take it. But they decided to use their time to bash the people who did it, who look like us. And I heard them on there, y'all worry about the shot. Y'all drink Hennessy. Y'all ain't worried about your health that much. Y'all drink Hennessy. Y'all smoke marijuana. Y'all ain't worried. Y'all eat bad. Nigga, apples and oranges are fruit, but they still different. Are you dumb? So because I've drank or because I've smoked or because I've eaten bad, you're telling me that I should just say fuck it and take everything? Come on now, make it make sense. Yes, it's me, Lisa Lee. Tons of gaslighting. So I'm using that as an example to how this class system things work. And people in the D9, if you're in the D9 and it's not you, shout out to you. Nothing is 100%. Let me say that. Nothing is 100%. But if you're in the D9, you are a part of a class system that lifts itself above the common black folk. Period. Now, this is the gag about the D9. If you in the D9, although you above the class system, that's the average black folk, you are below the Boule. So the same way you may look your nose down on the average Negro, that's the same way they look their nose down on you. But let me gag you even more. The Boule, the same way they look their nose down on the D9 and the average black Negro, the jelly beans do the exact same thing. You ever heard the phrase, everybody got a boss? If you've ever heard the phrase, everybody got a boss, it's self-explanatory. Moving on. So now that we've seen these clear men, let me get them back up here again. Where have them up here? Yeah, let me get them back up here again. Remember, thank you. It's from this young girl. I put it in the chat. The leather, what is it? Untamedleather.com. It's a young black girl who make these earrings. I love it. I'm gonna buy me some more. All right. So boom. Remember what I told you. Let me go here. This is the jelly beans, Phi Sigma Pi. These are the clear people. Not that one. And here are the Negroes, Poisson Blanc, white passing, Sigma Pi Phi. Now, most people inside of D9 organizations, will literally be like, but it ain't like that. It's really on some real, like, you know, camaraderie type shit. Like we help the community. We be giving out turkeys for Thanksgiving. I know I done volunteered. Listen, I'm telling y'all, I got two friends who Qs, one a AKA, one a Kappa. All of my friends, engineers, they all Greeks. So I be out there. I done been out there with them. And they do things like working in the church. They do. They give out baskets for Thanksgiving, food. They volunteer work. They do that. That's a fact. But the problem with that is what is happening behind the curtain. And we only see the surface. And unfortunately, a lot of the people who join these organizations, they only see the surface. To me, this might step on some toes, but I'm just telling you what I believe. To me, through my eyes, the fraternities and sororities are just the same as a game. Let me tell you why. And when people join a gang, they're normally kids. They're young. They join this gang because they're looking for a sense of belonging. They're looking for a sense of family. They're looking for a sense of camaraderie. They're looking for all these things that they are missing or lacking in the home or wherever their environment is. That's typically how the brain works. Whatever you don't have, you crave it. When you go on a diet and you say, I'm not eating no more candy, or I'm gonna just eat salads every day, what happens to your body? Don't your body be like, bitch, don't that burger look good? And then you get to craving it. The same thing happens in your mind. When it comes to D9 fraternities and sororities, most of the members are pre-grad. They come in through college. You're still a kid. Most of the people who join these fraternities are joining them for either tradition or a sense of belonging, just like the gang. Now, if you go down there in LA, anybody from California or New York or anywhere that they have gangs, riddle me this, especially in California. I'm not sure about New York. But in California, if you go in a Crip neighborhood wearing a red bandana, what's going to happen? Also, if you are not a Crip and you claim to be a Crip, what happens? Let me give you a real life example. Y'all remember when Boosie wore that fraternity sweater to that game? Y'all remember when Boosie wore that fraternity sweater courtside to that game? And at first he stood on business and was like, I ain't about to take nothing off. F y'all, I bought it out the mall. But then he turned back around and had to apologize. Remember? Did Boosie not get G-checked like you would get G-checked if you was in the game? If a Crip see you online, I'll give you another example. Sean Combs' son, P. Diddy's son, was over there claiming one of them sets over there. And one of them gang dudes got on there and said, boy, you better sit the fuck down. And guess what he did? Set the fuck down. In the doggone fraternities and sororities, if I got on this live right now with an AKA sweater on, them bitches will be hunting me down trying to kill me. Do you hear me? It ain't no different to me. Period. Let's get back to the scholarship. Now, before we move on, there's the pre-grad and the post-grad. Typically, in my opinion, the way it looks, I'm not in there, but the way it looks, the post-grad people, they're collecting your money, fat. You just there to pay your dues. You might go to the convention, do your little ski weeks or whatever the case may be, and then go on home to the house child. But ultimately, you didn't cross the burning sands that the other ones did. You feel me? That's why they typically don't give y'all the respect as the ones, that cross the burning sands. And we about to get into that. Lake says so many people has lost their lives during hazing. Listen, the shit that y'all don't know about, you will be listen. But again, a lot of people like being ignorant. And when I say ignorant, I don't mean dumb or stupid. I mean not knowing the knowledge. You know what I mean? Because it keeps them in a comfortable space. Sabrina said, what's the difference between a cult and a gang? Well, there's some similar, in my opinion. There are some similarities to cults and gangs, because in a cult, you pledge allegiance, or there's allegiance to a leader. Same thing in a gang. And in a cult, you basically lay down your life for said leader or organization. Same thing in a gang. Only thing I think is the difference is one might be a bit more worrisome than the other, but other than that, it's the same thing. Who is this? All right. Who is this? Let me get you out of here. I don't know what you're saying. Oh, girl, you about to get up out of here, Kat. I ain't know what you're saying, girl. You got to speak English in this chat now. You got to speak English in the chat, girl. I'm about to ban you up out of here. Anyway, somebody says the difference is that one has a deity involved. Well, think about it. Today, we live in a society where people are idol worshipers. I heard this on Charleston White. He said, we live in a society of idol worshipers. And he said the reason being is because people worship people and things. All right. Tarot, you doing too much. Come back on your regular page. Come back on your regular page. You doing too much. I feel like you spamming my chat. I feel like you spamming my chat, Tarot Destroyer. You gotta, go lay down, fat. Take your break. Anyways, what was I saying? That's what I thought. Yeah, she out of here. She out of here. Don't worry about it. Hold on. I had her in timeout, but I'm gonna go ahead on and get up out of here for good. Let me go ahead on and get up out of here. Anyways, let me do that right there too. Boom. All right, she out of here. Don't worry. Listen. So I don't see there's a big difference between the two. One has a deity, but they both have deities. You don't think them kids would lay down their life for the leader of the gang? You don't think those kids would lay down their lives? See, this is what I can't stand. This is what I can't stand. This is what I can't stand, girl. I thought you is modded on the other channel. Hold on. I think you already is modded on the other channel. See, this is what I don't like about disruptions. Lord. See, we got to start doing members only chats too. Or subscribers only chats or something. Matter of fact, that's what I'm about to do. A subscribers only chat. Who is, it's literally Libby. Marlon Manson. One has a physical deity. You over there? Oh, I see you. Hold on. Let me mod you up. I got you, boo. Because I don't need this interruption, y'all. I really don't. I truly don't. We can't have shit, bro. We literally can't have shit, and it's annoying. Thank you, opinionated. All right. Get her up out of here. If you see her again, get her up out of here. Because it looked like she making 11 pages. All right. Exactly, Daniela. Exactly. Every time I'm speaking facts, somebody come in on some fuck shit. All right. Let's get up. So boom. Yeah, I think they're the same. People worship people idolizing people. That's why you got your stands, your what do you call it? What's the people? The Swifties. You got your Barbs. You got your Barty Gang. You got your Hotties. Those are idol worshiping. They don't even realize it. They're worshiping idols is what they're doing. So let's move on. So now we covered Sigma Pi Phi is the Boule. Pi Sigma Phi is the jelly beans. You get it? All right, we covered that. The Boule says that they are there for the betterment of the community, economically, socially, politically, civically. Yeah, and civically. Remember, that's what they said. Now, boom, let's move on. So you wonder who would be a part of the Boule. Like, remember, this is a secret society. This is a group of people who you're not supposed to know who they are, but they exist. Does that make sense? So let me move over here. When that guy said, hold on. When that guy said Diddy was a part of the Boule, I'm like, huh? What? Like, and it made sense. It didn't make sense until it made sense. But ultimately, it made sense because you would need somebody, because the Boule, their whole purpose is to control the mind and keep the minds under whatever controls the top leaders want them to be under. So they are there to take orders. Remember the name. They said it was Council of Men, but it's really the advisor to the king. That's literally what it means. But they'll never tell you that because they don't want you to know that. All right, let me go over here. This is typically what the Black Boule would look like. I know in New Orleans, let me say this. In New Orleans, we have, how does bitch keep getting back? How? Like, how they keep doing that? Jesus Christ. Like, damn, get a life, baby. Jesus Christ. Yes, the devil is busy. Anyway, she over there. Y'all, I'm not about to let this get me on my rock. Moderators, please, every time you see her, get her up out of here, please. All right, let's move on. So, oh, girl, I got this from the beauty store, girl. I got a bunch of them, different colors. All right. So we've already confirmed that. Listen, let me show y'all what the Boule might look like. Now, in my how in the fuck is this happening continuously? I didn't put it on subscriber mode, Stephanie Allen. I didn't. Girl, this is ridiculous. Anyway, moving on. I'm gonna say what I got to say because we already here. So look, so we've already covered that. out in subscriber mode only. Put it in subscriber mode only. Let me see. Let me do that. How you do that? Chat community moderation. The subscribers. Did it go in? It's on over here. All right, let's see how this works. I turned it on over here, and I turned it on over here. All right. I know, literally, Libby, we trying to get it on. All right, cool. So let's move on. So now, let me show you guys what a lot of the boule may look like. Let's look at this. See, in New Orleans, we have a thing called debutante balls. It's typically like the Poisson Blanc people, the well-to-do people. That's typically what it is. It's the well-to-do people. Y'all hit the like button. It's the well-to-do people. It's the middle class to upper middle class blacks. That's literally what it is. Typically, this is what they look like. To me, it reminds me of the well-to-do blacks, in New Orleans. That's how they used to look. They always dressed up really nice. They had better, they had more money, so they were able to travel. A lot of these people went up to Martha's Vineyard every year. Do you guys know that Martha's Vineyard was originally owned by black people? But anyway, debutantes, it's them. It's the upper middle class of the black community. Remember, I told you about the class system. There's a class system. You got the regular Negroes, and then you got the middle class Negroes who typically turn their nose down on the regular Negroes because they got more money. They got typically better jobs, more money, access to clearness. And that in turn makes them believe or feel in their psychological mind that they are in a higher social class than the regular blacks. That doesn't mean they're smarter. That doesn't mean they work harder. All it means to them is that, or to anybody, is that they just in a different status or whatever. Let's get back to this. I want to show you guys something I found. Hold on. Is that Indian headdress? Yes. It's the exact same thing. It's just a different style. Yes. Yes. And we know they didn't create it. So, Super Sunday, not every Super Sunday. Well, no, Super Sundays, the Indians come out. So, yes. So whenever the Indians come out, and it's not every Super Sunday, but whenever Indians do come out, they come out full dress, full everything. Now I got to show y'all that so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Now I got to show it to you so you can see. I'm a visual. Oh yeah, the gold mine effect. That's what they do. That's literally what they do. That's literally what they do. Check this out. Look at this headdress. You see that? You see the feathers? Yes. It's not the same, but it is very similar. I might as well click on it so you can really see it. See that? It's not the same, but it is very similar. Mind you, they're saying that black people they learned this from the so-called Native Americans, and they've just taken on a tradition, of this. But I've seen the Native Americans and I've seen the Mardi Gras Indians. One looks good. No, one looks authentic and the other one doesn't. Let me just say that. One looks authentic, the other one doesn't. Let's move on. The same thing you see in the Bahamas and all of that other stuff. It's the exact same thing. Now, let's get back into the what you call it, y'all. We getting sidetracked. My bad, y'all. All right, so look, before we get to Steve Coakley, the very first fraternity after the Sigma Pi Phi, which is the Boule, was Alpha Phi Alpha. You guys know this. They were also created in 1906. The Boule was created in 1904, and then comes Alpha Phi Alpha in 1906. The Divine Nine, or the Alpha Phi Alphas, which would be the first, they came under the umbrella of their rules are under the umbrella of the Boule. Let me tell you why. The Boule takes after the SMBs, and then the Divine Nine takes after the Boule. So this is a trickle-down pyramid scheme is what it is. At the top of the pyramid, you got the jelly beans. At the very next level of the pyramid, you got the Boule. Then you got the Divine Nine, and then you got the regular Negroes at the bottom. The orders and everything come from the jelly beans. The jelly beans disseminate said orders through the Boule, which are your celebrities today: Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, Diddy. And they are to control the regular person like me and you. So, Alpha Phi Alphas, and we ain't even got to Freemasonry yet. Child, please. Alpha Phi Alphas, let me get this off the screen so y'all can see it. Let me get this off the screen so y'all can see it. All right. Where I'm at. Alpha Phi Alpha, this is them saying this is what their history is. The founding of Alpha Phi Alpha. Alpha Phi Alpha, the first intercollegiate Greek letter fraternity established for African-American men, was founded on December 4th, 1906 at Cornell University in Ithaca, New York, by 7 college men who recognized the need for a strong bond of brotherhood among African descendants in this country. Now, they say they made themselves for brotherhood and bonding and all of that. All right. The jelly beans are the unmentionables, Marina. Marina, the jelly beans are the unmentionables. Yes. Thank you, Hot Diva. So, okay. It says the 7 visionary founders known as the Jewels of Fraternity are Henry Arthur Callis, Charles Henry Chapman, Eugene Nickel Jones, George Biddle Kelly, Nathaniel Allison Murray, Robert Harold Ogle, and Vertner Woodson Tandy. Henry Arthur Callis became a practicing physician, another doctor. Remember, hey, let me say this too, just to put this on y'all mind really quick. These fraternities are founded typically from so far where we are by doctors, dentists, or medical doctors, right? Somewhere in the medical field. This is the medical field that we are supposed to trust. Do you guys realize that when we see black doctors, we get a sense of relief, like, oh my God, he's black, or oh my God, she's black. There's a sense of relief. What if I told you that just because they black, remember how we say all skin folk ain't kin folk? What if I told you that just because the doctor is black don't necessarily mean it has your best interest at heart? Hell, all the black doctors finding these fraternities. I'm just saying. I believe, Ty, Tandy was an architect, but I believe as the time goes by, as the fraternities grow, I believe that's why his is intercollegiate, if you ask me. I believe they're expanding it, remember? Because it's not just occupied by one group or by one occupation, but I believe as the time goes on, it expands like a pyramid scheme, like a spider web. Y'all ever had a crack in your window, a little bitty nudge, and then you wake up the next day and the crack way down the end of the windshield? It's the same thing. Like there's a crack and then it spreads. That's another one. Numbers are always odd. Yes, they are. All right. So they're saying that, hey, y'all, this is who I am. It says, Henry Arthur Callis. Callis became a practicing physician at Howard University, a Howard University professor of medicine and prolific contributor to medical journals. Often regarded as the philosopher of the founders and a moving force in the fraternity's development, he was the only one of Cornell 7 to become general president. Prior to moving to Washington, D.C., he was a medical consultant to the Veterans Hospital in Tuskegee, Alabama. Where was that experiment on niggas happening with the SIF? Can anybody tell me? Where was they doing the experiment down there on the niggas with the SIF? Y'all remember what they called it? Yeah. You get it? There go the gold mine effect. Tuskegee experiment, where they were experimenting on Negroes. I'm pretty sure he was there. I don't have time to look it up. Anyway, upon his unaliving in 1974 at age 87, the fraternity entered a time without any living jewels. His papers were donated to Howard's Moreland Springart Research Center. Then we got Charles Henry Chapman, entered through higher education and eventually became professor at agriculture at what is now Florida A&M. These are the Black people in our community that we are trusting to teach us, to take care of us medically, to take care of our teeth, to take care of our health, to take care of everything. This is who these people are. Keep that in mind. Described as a brother beloved in the bonds, Chapman was a founder of FAMU's Beta Nu chapter. So he founded another fraternity. During the organization stages of Alpha chapter, he was the first chairman of the committees on initiation and organization. Then we got Eugene Nichols. He was the first executive secretary of the National Urban League. His 20-year tenure with the Urban League thus far has exceeded those of all his successors in office. Let me ask y'all a question. How all these niggas is in these top positions and coincidentally they all founders of these fraternities? Think about it. Mind you, they pass on blown for the most part. Then it says George Biddle Kelly. Kelly became the first African-American engineer registered in the state of New York. These are top-level Negroes. Nathaniel Allison Murray pursued graduate work after completing his undergrad studies at Howard. He later returned home to D.C. where he taught in public schools. Why is that bigger to me than the other ones? He's teaching a school of kids. You can't teach an old dog new trick. Everything an adult has in its adult life, he or she learned through their childhood. This is big. Robert Harold Ogle. Ogle entered the career secretarial field and had the unique privilege of serving as a professional staff member to the United States Senate Committee on Appropriations. Appropriations. Vertner Woodson Tandy. He became the state of New York's first registered Black architect with offices on Broadway in New York City. Now, y'all know this. Let me say this, y'all. This is what we know. Them clear people do not allow us in high places. They just don't. They just don't. How these niggas get in? Just out of curiosity, how do these niggas get in? I wonder what the coincidence is. Yeah, child, please. Let's get into what's his name? Into Steve Coakley. Are y'all familiar with Steve Coakley? Is anybody in the chat familiar with Steve Coakley? Steve Coakley, was a professor. He was a professor, and he spoke a lot against the Boule and also the D9. He spoke a lot against both. Very recognized Black brother. I believe this brother, they hid him on purpose so we wouldn't be woken up to what's really going on in this world, if you ask me. But let's get into Steve Coakley. Hold on really quick. I got to get to the mile marker. Let me back it up a little bit. I'm going to let y'all see what he has to say on this topic. Hold on. Let me back him up some more. All right. Let's get into Steve Coakley. Where is it? Should be right here. Oh, yeah, there it is. All right, let me fix this. Fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. Let's get into girl, I'll do you one better. Kristen said, just joining alive. I'm wanting to know, do you remember in the movie Rosewood where the black Mason helped that white Mason? Yes, I do. Absolutely, I do. But let me gag you even more. There was a slave movie. I don't want to lie. I don't know if it was, I don't want to lie. I want to say it was Nat Turner. I want to say that's what it was. But for this in purpose, I'm going to say it may not have been. But guess what? In one of those movies, a slave was running away from master. And on the way, running away, a slave encountered a clear man. The slave was a Mason. The clear man was a Mason. The slave asked the Mason, the clear man, when the clear man seen him, he showed him his ring, trying to see if he would give him some, like, let me live, let me buy, I'm one of you. And guess what the clear Mason did to his ass? Cat his ass back to where he belonged. You see what I'm saying? It's the blind loyalty for me. It's the blind loyalty for me. It's the sense of thinking you have some loyalty with these folk when these folk don't give a good God, you know what about you. Why you think if Diddy, let's just say for all intents and purposes, allegedly Diddy is in the Boule. Well, if he's in the Boule, then why is he going through what he's going through now? I mean, he's Diddy. What are we talking about? He's Diddy. Are you crazy? What is going on? Let's get into this show. Fair use, fair use, fair use. For educational purposes only, fair use.
Brother Omar. Brother Omar, I need something, great big front-page story on the left column about elite fraternity of black men. Excuse me, brother. I saw that one get away. I'm just shaming myself. I stand back here. This elite fraternity of black men were described in the article as being influential, as being somewhat like Skull and Bones at Yale. And as it said these things, I was a little in awe, as the others, brothers in African Minds United and the Coalition Against Black Exploitation, as we all were intrigued by the fact that this group of men could have been in existence and we not know about them. And even other brothers and sisters. I remember talking to a brother who had been National Executive Secretary of Sigma, Phi Beta Sigma, been in for...
Really quickly, you guys, I just want to stop this to say this. He mentioned how, this is a secret group of brothers, right? I want us to really, first of all, let me just go here first, because I need us to really understand what's about to happen right now. I'm about to drop some real knowledge on y'all.
Wake up!
Please wake up.
Listen to me. Hear me out. Please do not get distracted. Listen to what this brother is saying. Listen to what this brother is saying. This brother about to drop some real jewels on this so-called society. Don't get distracted by nothing in the background. Listen to what this brother is saying. Yes, Tweeter the one. Listen with your third ear, your third eye. Please. This brother is about to drop some jewels. Y'all hit the like button. Let's get into it.
Fraternity land, 37 years, had heard nothing of the Boule ever, though its founder had been a member. And so, as we began to talk about it with other people around the country, we began to realize that people didn't know about it. How you doing, Bro Warren? And not knowing that people didn't know about it, we just assumed that it was incidental, that everybody must know something about it, and that it was not mysterious or connected to all of those other things we had previously been talking about, like Cecil Rhodes and Baron de Rothschild and all the halls of haters, the ADL and the Diamond Jewish connection. We've been talking about the Trilateral Commission, who is responsible for this economic summit that you'll be seeing on TV the next 3-4 days. You need to know that. Anybody? Carl Rowan came on the radio right here in LA. And my friends jumped him, because we jumping them in every city. And when they jumped him, he said the Trilateral Commission ain't done nothing. But the Trilateral Commission went to the president and had him set up the annual economic summit starting in '76, France. So when you listen to how your destiny of your country, they say, rides on that meeting, you wonder how Rowan could make such an allegation, but knowing as a Boule in Washington, D.C. Epsilon chapter, his goal is to never speak of the high, white, and mighty, whom the Boule, all 3,300, are sworn to protect.
Listen, this is 1993. This is Brother Steve Coakley, 1993. What he's speaking on is how the Boule worked directly and closely with presidents, politics, and all of that. 1993. At the time, he was keeping up with the Boule and its members, and he said that it was a little over 3,000 members in 1993. So what he's saying is there was a brother who was Boule, who was basically trying to act like the brother, I'm sorry, I'm reading. The brother was trying to act like, you know, what was happening wasn't happening, but he can't say what's happening as it pertains to their relationship is because he's sworn to secrecy, if it makes sense. All right, let's go back into it.
Yes, these brothers that we are pushing up against the wall have taken a sworn oath that they will never expose the whites that they know actually run the world. They, in ambition and in deference to liberation and respect of the race, have agreed to maintain the status quo of white supremacy, which has two levels of white supremacy: a local, limited, parochial side, the Ku Klux Klan, the Reardons, the Kenny Hans, the local clans, but has a powerful, more mighty upper crust, which probably would include Occidental Petroleum and Arco and Exxon and Mobil Oil and the Rockefeller Foundation and other influential, wealthy families and institutions.
Do you understand? Are we tracking? What he's saying is the Black Boule is put in place to protect the system of clear people who run the world. But the gag is there's levels to it. The levels to that is you got the KKK, that's the boots on the ground, the ones riding around burning crosses. And then you got the ones who actually sit behind the scenes and pull all the strings. That's literally why they're put in place. Literally right there. That's why they're put in place. And to me, I ain't gonna go there yet because we got to talk about D9. So let's go. Let's go. Remember, nothing happens to us. We are not oppressed. None of that exists unless we help. Let's get into it.
So what we're talking about is, why haven't you heard of those people who are in the secret society? It's because the people who you look to, who you would most suspect would tell you, have sworn that they never will. And
that's the doctors. Remember I said we see a black doctor, we feel a sigh of relief because they look like us? Not all doctors, but these are the people that they choose. People that black people will trust. Doctors, lawyers, police, politicians, unfortunately. Pastors. Oh my God. Pastors. Black folk don't trust nobody more than the pastor. Only person they trust more than the pastor is Jesus. And I'm confused if they trust the white Jesus or the black Jesus. But the only person they trust more than pastor is Jesus.
Because of that, that leaves the sub-leadership. The other group of people that you like a lot, that leaves them to tell you. The heads of the various organizations as you know them. But if you listen to them, they have never said of these black men, for that they did not know. Which means that Malcolm, we know, knew of these men. We know Marcus Garvey knew of these men because their crowning most outstanding achievement was the physical elimination and castigation of Marcus Garvey and the insistence and the climate setting that brought about the death of Malcolm X.
Listen.
For both of those men, international in perspective and insight were a threat to the very whites that they're sworn to protect.
Listen, throughout my research of black leaders in the past, two brothers from the mid to late 1900s, there were only two brothers I found. I'm talking about you can comb through them all. There were only two brothers I found from the mid 1900s all the way up to now that were not a part of no D9 organization or none of that. They were completely detached from those organizations. One was Brother Malcolm. Y'all know how I love me some Brother Malcolm. And the other one was Fred Hampton, the leader of the Black Panthers. What do those two people have in common? I'm sorry. Those two people have this in common. They're fearless, they're smart, and they are for the people. See, the other ones, they say they for the people. It took Fred Hampton, a young, 18, 19, 20-year-old, to say, hey, we're finding that black children are being tested positive for lead out of the school system by the time they get to middle and high school. So what he said was, it's probably through the food. So let's kill two birds with one stone. We got poor black people, and let's feed our own kids. Free lunch program, free breakfast program. Y'all remember that? Took him out. How dare you save these kids? Malcolm X. Once he woke up from under the spell of the so-called Honorable Elijah Muhammad, once he woke up from that spell, because he thought that all Muslims were black, it took for him to carry his ass down there to Africa to see that was a damn lie. Once he woke up from under that spell and started exposing what really is happening and organizing, he got the same fate. It was Malcolm first, then him. Now, pre-1950s and above, Mecca. Yes, thank you, Christian. Pre-1950s and above, Marcus Garvey that I've seen is the only brother that was not connected to that. Now, I'm not saying Marcus walked away with clean hands. I don't know. I never, However, Marcus Garvey had the Back to Africa movement. Now, I've heard some things on that, both good and bad, but ultimately, he was for the people. And what fate did he receive? Now, I don't want you guys to take that as the same fate that Martin got. Yes, Martin got that fate because Martin reneged on the deal. See, that's why he got the fate he had. Had Martin not reneged on the deal, if you guys are not sure, Please go back and watch my Martin Luther King video that I did. If Martin Luther King had not reneged on the deal, I promise you he probably would have lived to 89 years old. But he reneged on the deal. I'm not saying none of these men were perfect. Everybody got their yin and their yang. But these brothers were set apart from the others. I'll just say that. Yes, they were, DJ Rob's blog. Yes, they were.
You don't get killed for any other reason than jeopardizing the whites of the whites that run the world. Martin King, who was a Boule, met the bullet, not for the civil rights thing, but for the international war thing that got 2 Kennedy boys killed also. So we're looking at a group of men who have protected murderers. So what is the crime of this Boule? As we allege, as many of them say, why do you step to my doorstep and accuse me of these things, of which I know not? But their so-called limited understanding is in fact defiance and woven into the oath that they swear that they will never even act like they know who these people really are. We have challenged these people on the radio, TV, in the street, on numerous occasions. Kurt Smoke, the mayor of Baltimore, Jesse Jackson, the head of the Rainbow Coalition, Cecil Murray, all the way down the line. These people that we have challenged have never been able to stand up and honestly turn around and say the truth to the matter. And we understand that. So our job is to come to you with the information so that you can make up your mind. There are several affirmations about this process that we must agree to. A Greek is a fraud. A Greek is a fraud. Now, there are a lot of people going to hear this all over the country. And they want to know, do you understand that a Greek is a fraud? So I want you to holler out if you think that a Greek is a fraud. A Greek is a fraud. Oh, let me try that one more time. You might not be ready because this is going to go to people all over the country. And they want to know, do you believe this? Because if you believe this, this comes to a certain conclusion that will produce other action, which you have affirmed. Is a Greek a fraud? A Greek is a fraud. Did the Greek steal from Kemet? Yes. Okay. If the Greeks stole from Kemet and a Greek is a fraud, what then is the fate of those who have perpetrated the Greek in spite of the fact?
Y'all get what he's saying? Are y'all tracking? Are you guys tracking what the brother is saying? Really quickly, DJ Gigi says, nah, y'all say Jesse Jackson, but Garvey played a big part in the Back to Africa theory. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Let me be honest. I side-eyed Marcus Garvey about that because it's either one or two things. He knew that what he was doing was wrong, or he really believed that as Black people, we would do better in Africa. Whereas Jesse Jackson, he didn't really come up with a Back to Africa theory. Basically, he was more or less like, hey, you guys, hey, Black people in America, y'all are now Afro, after a hairstyle, Afro or African American. Garvey wanted to go back to Africa because he believed that Black people in the Caribbeans and Black people in America were not treated well. He believed that we would be treated better if we lived amongst our own people, for lack of better terms. So, Jasmine, if you want me to break down what the brother is saying, what he's saying is, he said a Greek is a fraud because a Greek is a chapter or an umbrella or under the umbrella of the Boule, right? So he's saying if you're Greek, You're a fraud for many multiple reasons. Number one, we're using Greek letters. How is a nigga from America gonna be doing anything Greek? Nigga, you don't know nothing about no Greece. There's many reasons why he's saying Greeks are frauds. But in this context, he's saying it because the Greeks fall under that same umbrella. So if they fall under that same umbrella and the Greek is a fraud, but yet they get their information and everything from Kemet, you get it? Now, this is kind of getting into, I hate Roland Martin. I don't hate him. I'm lying. I despise him. I don't like him. I don't like Roland Martin. And I be trying to block him on social media. I mean, not on social media, on YouTube, but I don't know how to block people on YouTube. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you so much. No, you good. We just getting into the what you call them. So basically what he's saying is, if the Greek is a fraud, it's almost like, remember when I did the content on the movie Roots? And remember I told y'all Alex Haley stole the movie Roots idea from a clear man who made it all up? What he's saying is, if a Greek is a fraud, because if they're championing, or recreating or repeating fraudulent behavior and fraudulent things, then therefore they're a fraud. That's basically all he said. Roland Martin, number one, he's Boule. Number two, he's D9. Number three, he misleads black people like 90 going west. Roland Martin is an African, not a nigga. He's an African put in the society over here in America to keep you voting blue no matter who. No matter what happens, no matter how it goes, vote blue. That's his whole agenda. That is his whole, he has a completely political agenda. Everybody have a job. Everybody have a job. Is he Haitian? I know he ain't nigga. He ain't nigga. He is put in place to make sure you go vote blue no matter who. That's his whole job. And he's D9. Exactly. That's why I said they're colonizers. They don't create nothing. They just steal. Romans stole Greece and Greece stole from Egypt. They don't create anything. The origin of most of the things that we're dealing with, the all-seeing eye, all of that goes back to Egypt. All of that. Marcus Lamont Hill, that's another one. That people have jobs. Just like when you go get hired down at the Walmart and they hire you as a cashier, your job is to work behind the cash register. He has a job. His job is to work under the political system to keep niggas politically dumb. That's his job. And I don't care, to be completely honest, I don't care about none of them. I ain't no Republican. I ain't no conservative. I ain't no Democrat. I ain't no left liberal, or none of that shit. However, I can see through the bullshit like I'm wearing blindfolds. No, not blindfolds, goggles. That's literally his job. Let's move up to this right here. Back up. Let's move to here.
Without hesitation, and he's saying it publicly and openly. And under those circumstances, deviation can't be tolerated. So some of you who have asked, what can you do, will be asked, can you go to the big white hotels where the Greeks give the other Greeks their money? Can you go down there with me on the Friday night when they got the big dinner? See if we can get some answers for this Greek thing. Hold up some pictures of Greek and ask them which one is their daddy. Or hold some pictures of some fallen Cometans or Kebalans or Azanians and ask, do you support the ones that did this? We must confront our people, for it is our people that have tolerated the jam that we're in, and these people are at the top of our people as a guarantee from white people. Yes, the whites guarantee the Boule prosperity and notoriety. I'm telling you, we done put a lot of pressure on these people, turned a lot of them into flat tires. I saw one.
Just in case you don't know, what he used to do is he would go confront them. That was his job. He would expose them and confront them. So when he say, "Oh, y'all gonna come with me to the hotel, to the Greek thing," and that's his job. That's what he does. He confronts them and he basically go to them and be like, "Brother, you know what you are. You know what you're doing. You need to say something or you need to take accountability," and they never do. That's his job.
One of the tires.
No cap though. That doggone projector screen is taking me back to elementary school, and it's just sparking up some type of nostalgia in my brain. Shout out to the people who had projectors that the teacher had to roll in and put it up there and used to try to make the little rabbit ears by the light. Shout out to them.
Blown up last week in the LA Times, trying to put air back in a tire we flattened for supporting the Boule.
Check.
This is the founder of the Boule, Henry Minton. If this was color, you'd see he's light, almost white. Because in the early aspects of the organization, there was a lot of that. Henry Minton is the founder and so-called pioneering spirit. Brother was kind, knowing I needed a point of the organization Sigma Pi Phi. The head man of the organization is called the Grand Sire Archon. ARCHON is what a member is called after they have been inducted. They're an Archon. He was the Grand Poopah from 1908 to 1909, then became Grand Sire Archon Emeritus. The Grand Sire Archon is the head of the national Boule. The head of the local Boule is called Sire Archon. So the head of the LA chapter is Sire Archon. A member in any Boule is called just Archon. So as Archon is a member, Sire Archon is the local head, Grand Sire Archon is the only head, the titular head. The Grand Sire Archon and those other top positions of the Boule have absolute and supreme authority over every Boule chapter, which are called subordinate chapters. Every subordinate chapter of the Boule is compelled to respond to the wishes of the Grand Sire Archon.
Remember, I told you that it is a pyramid. There's the top, and then there's the people. It's spread like a damn, like a crack or a spider web. What he's saying is there's a Grand Archon or Archon. I don't know if that's how you say it. There's a Sire Archon, and then there's the regular Archon. The Grand, the Sire, all the other Archons. These are all layers to the Boule who are in a layer of BS to the jelly beans. What he's saying is nothing moves by the Archons unless the Grand Archon says go. But mind you, remember I said before, everybody has a boss. Where you think he getting his orders from? You see what I'm saying?
And the executive committee. This is a discussion about what Minton was thinking about in 1904 when he wanted to set up the organization. This is from the History of Sigma Pi Phi. That's the history book of the organization. The History of Sigma Pi Phi. It's written by an alpha named Charles Wesley, who wrote the history book for A Phi A as well. Didn't he? Didn't he? And then the alpha's here. And yes, okay, he did write it, yes. In that, he said, in summary, Minton wanted to create an organization which would partake, in his own words, of, quote, the tenets of Skull and Bones at Yale. Now, in the July 18th article on on the Boule in the LA Times, and I'm going to show you the original article that we first found on the subject, and I want to show you what it says, because in the article,
it's getting deep. He's pulling up the book, the history book, written by them, the Alpha, and he's putting up the original articles on what was happening. Y'all pay attention. This is about to get deep.
You get the impression. And I just want to, when they say Skull and Bones at Yale, that's what they're talking about. That's the logo for Skull and Bones at Yale. Now, who would want to be patterned after that? Because that doesn't look positive to me. Now, you're already a damn Greek. Now you done went and got some poison. So that's a double header. Okay, I'm looking for you this opening article. Here we go. This is a little hard to see when I'm up here, so it's a little difficult. Let me take this off. It's a little warm in here. It's even warmer up here. This is the original LA Times article. Everybody see that? Did you see that? When it ran in 1990? You did see it. No, you didn't see it. What's the date on it? That's July 18th, 1990. Elite fraternity widens agenda of black men. This is the original article that came out on the Boule that we just casually discussed here at The Good Life, which led to this penetration. Because by the time Brother Oswald gets up and starts decodifying a little of that symbolism, you will see that we have in fact cracked a riddle that has contained our people. Our people have been contained by an organized element of secret people who have used riddles, mysteries, and secret societies to jam us.
You get that? Our people have been contained by a group of people who use riddles, symbolism, and all other things to organize us. If you remember from my Martin Luther King video, Malcolm X said Martin Luther King was a paid government informant, and what he does, what he was paid to do is every time the black folk was ready to revolutionize and galvanize and do all these things, Martin Luther King's job was to come in and pacify the niggas and calm them the fuck down. Martin Luther King was Boule. He was doing a job. Just like you a cashier at Walmart, he was doing his job. Calming the niggas down. Let me tie it in here. Y'all remember that documentary I did where Medgar Evers' brother, Charlie Evers, the black people was ready to go march and tear up the city because they wouldn't, the government wouldn't give them voting rights, the mayor and all that stuff and the governor. And Charles Evers, came down there, was like, y'all stop. We need to stop. Let's just go back in and negotiate. Give it to somebody else. Give it to us. Let us do. Yeah, it's right. It's turn the cheek. That's their jobs. Yes, Obama. Absolutely. That's what the government does. They send their pets into our community to mess things up. Yeah. But the gag is we are blind to the pets because they look like us. You remember that, huh, T. Roberts? He told him to calm down. Those were his exact words. Think about the Martin Luther King thing. Martin Luther King's whole job was for us to be non-violent. What group of people on the face of this earth has ever gotten any type of protection or any type of anything without revolution? What group of people on the face of this earth has ever gotten the respect and the resources that they need through being nonviolent? Why the hell, in a time when black people was going through the worst of the worst, why wouldn't this be a time where black people going through the worst of the worst? Why would your message then be nonviolent? How does that help us? Literally. If this don't tell you black Americans are divinely chosen by God, nothing will. They literally have to play checkers, to play cloaks and daggers to keep blacks from realizing this. Exactly. But it works flawlessly because we're all entertained. You know what I mean? And that's what sucks about it. That's what sucks about it. Let's get back to the brother because I got a couple more spots I want to show y'all. And what we are doing is we are unlocking
or decodifying the mystery, because once decodified and exposed, those who are secret in the light will not be as effective, which must be our goal, since liberation is not theirs. You can't liberate as a Greek. You can't liberate in the name of Greece. So everybody say, well, you know, Steve is really a black thing. It may be, but you ain't gonna liberate called 858. Yeah. Now, watch this. Now come the men of Sigma Pi Phi, a one secret black fraternity. That celebrates the professional and material success of black men. Have we had much material success? Well, anyway, you can just see how they spend their time. They have every year, they have big picnics, big annual picnics every chapter. We need to find the park where the new chapter, the LA chapter meets at, because they're going to have a big picnic somewhere, preferably in the Greek neighborhood. So we have to find where they're going to be at, so we can go to the picnic. Don't you want to go to the Boule picnic? That celebrates the professional and material success of black is a Boule member. In fact, a little later on, you'll see him talking about him speaking. It was not in this one, it's in the other one, where he's speaking. There's talking about Louis Sullivan's name right there. U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services, Louis Sullivan. Well, this was about assisting the young black male. Says, I'm focusing more on social activism. Too many young black men, said the civil rights group, are underemployed, alternatively feared, and reveled, and living at a risk. So they're going to help young black men. So how did Louis Sullivan try to help young black men? The National Violence Initiative. He sought to chemically bust their skulls open and penalize them for being chemically imbalanced, which means they were disturbing the Greeks. How many of you all saw ABC last night? I asked everybody to watch the program, which was talking about the Violence Initiative. And did you see the story after that too, which was just as deep? The sister from Chicago working for the Koreans, paid by the United Way, just like we talked about on the radio. And there was a white man saying that we're not going to let certain prisoners out of jail until we prove they're chemically balanced. Now you imagine you done your time and the motherfucker telling you 40 degrees off balance. Oh, brother, this is deep. This sounds funny, but if we don't get together and kick some ass, they're going to cut all us open. We all going to be walking around like this here.
Listen to what I'm getting from this, you guys. What I'm getting from this is we are so programmed to believe that our biggest enemy is the clear man. And it is to an extent. But until we tackle the things that we can touch, see, and deal with, which is the black people that are helping pull the strings of the clear man, we're gonna be jacked up. We don't have the military, we don't have none of that to deal with the clear man. But we do have the access and the reach to the black man who's pulling the strings of the clear man. So what he's saying is, if we don't do something about this, yes, he did, T. Bradley. Malcolm told us, if we don't do something about this at the level that we can, we're going to be screwed. We're going to be, because like I said, black people are so poor in the mind that we all have a price. And because we have a price and they have the resources to give said price, that's why they're able to do what they do. Literally. Because they know you need money. I got money. So all I got to do is be like, oh, yeah, I'll give you $100 million worth of game to do a podcast where you promote drill and all of that, and drill rappers and all of that stuff that basically promotes the unaliving of young black males. Yes, I'll give you $100 million to sign that podcast deal. I do that. And niggas who ain't never had nothing, that is everything to them. So what do? I mean, I got to weigh my options. This is how they do. They weigh options. They say, well, I'm poor. Mind you, it's not like they on the streets poor, but they say, I need the money. And then sometimes if they have a conscience, they'll say, should I do this at the expense of my people though? If they have a conscience and if they are conscious, those thoughts will go through their head. But ultimately, even though those thoughts go through their head, they still ultimately do what it is that they follow the money. You know how they say chase the bag? They chase the bag. And because of that within itself is the reason why we as Black folk is where we are and will continue to be where we are. They didn't say that money was the root of all evil. They said the love of money is the root of all evil. And that basically to me just means when you love money so much, it leads you to evil. It is the origin of evil. Nothing good comes from a love of money, ever. I've always resented people who say, I'm chasing the bag. I'm going to get the bag. Whatever the bag. People who do that, typically, their purpose is the bag. And a lot of times, if they get the bag, they realize the bag ain't everything they seemed. They thought it was. Jasmine said they put us in predicaments to want to choose money. Hold on, I want to come back to her comment. If you grow up in poverty due to systematic generational poverty, you gonna chase a bag. I disagree though, Jasmine. Let me tell you why I disagree. Just because we're in poverty, it's not like we're chasing money just to live. We're not chasing enough money to pay our house note. We're not chasing enough money to make sure we have a vehicle and food on the table for the kids. We don't chase money for that. You know what we chase money for? To be able to shit on other niggas. We chase money to be able to say, I took a trip to Africa, you didn't. We chase money to be able to say, my weed costs $2,000, yours don't. We chase money to be able to pull up in the brand new whip while you over there at the bus stop. We chase money to be able to have the best of the best, not for what we want, but just to shit on other niggas. So just because we come from poverty, you know what I mean? And I get it. That does play a huge part into why the psyche of the Black mind goes after what the love of money would be. If you starve a person for 2 weeks, the very first time they eat, they're going to overeat because the brain says, I need this. I don't have this. Hey, I need this. I don't have this. Same with money. I need this. I don't have this. So the very first time or on the very interaction you get to that money, it's not about having enough. It's about overindulging because the brain says, hey, I need this. I don't have this. I need this. I don't have this. Same thing with diets. Same thing with everything we do. When you deprive a community of anything, they're going to overindulge. So I have to give grace for that. But what I'm saying is, it's not like we're chasing a decent life. Like for me, if I'm ever in a situation where I ain't got to worry about how my lights gonna stay on, or my note gonna get paid, girl, I don't have a car note. My car old as hell. I drive a 2012. Listen to me, lenders, and listen to me, lenders. I got the credit to go get me a car, and I got the down payment to go get me a car. But for me, and I know I'm different, for me, I feel like as long as I have a running vehicle, a roof over my head, and my lights are on and food in my belly, if I can live a comfortable life there, I'm set. I'm not chasing a bag. But when you chase a bag, it's the root of all evil. There's an evil origin behind the bag you chase. And we chase bags because, like I said, psychologically, when you're deprived of something, you have to overindulge in it once you get it. However, Black people, what we have to understand is, look at all these rich folks. They freaked up behind the scenes. Them people not happier than you. I promise you. Them people not happier than you. And you will not gain anything by shitting on the Black person sitting next to you because you wearing Chanel and Prada and they wearing Walmart and Rainbow. Thank you for the super chat. Kimmy Doll, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, oh, I took you off. It says, women and children were used as soldiers on the front lines. The men stood back and preached nonviolence. No other men waged war that way. Exactly. And we saw that in that documentary I showed y'all. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that documentary? Well, the men wanted to go down there and talk to the government, and the women was like, we the ones, it's the women and the children out there on the front line getting bit by dogs, sprayed by water hoses. How y'all coming in now talking about what y'all want to do and y'all not doing nothing? You're exactly right, Kimmy Dog. So I've always side-eyed a person who said they chase a bag. Because to me, you're going to chase it and you're going to find something at the other end of that bag that you wasn't really looking for. You get it? Ain't nothing wrong with liking good things. Ain't nothing wrong with liking nice things. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I promise you. But when it is your primary goal and it is the only thing that you see, you are easily sucked into what we're talking about right now. Part of the system that holds down other Black people.
We act a little like this now, only we do the bunking. Now, watch this. Watch this. Watch this. This I thought was interesting. Almost sounds accidental. Like Yale Skull and Bones, secret society to which George Bush belonged, the Boule has been criticized by some as a social anachronism and has challenged members to change its image. Like Yale Skull and Bones secret society. You see, when you hear that, that almost sounds like it's probably like Yale Skull and Bones. But then when you actually see that it isn't just like it, it was made like it. You see what she did? You see how the article kind of hid the fact that it was pledged to be like Skull and Bones at Yale. See, like Yale Skull and Bones, it doesn't say patterned off of or vowed on the tenets of. It doesn't affirm it as well as we found it when we got the damn book. You see, someone said, well, brother, now we got the article. What more will we need to look for? Is that once someone that we don't like writes something, we know there are 10 times more things there once we get it. Anybody that looked at anything, I try to look over it because my eyes look for different things. And all of these people together. Now, I must tell the story again for the record, for those who don't know. I lectured at Morgan State. I left here in Los Angeles, went to Morgan State in Baltimore, gave a lecture. In fact, Christian Gregory, who was just in the jet, Dick Gregory's son, was the head of the student government there, brought me there to Morgan State. I did the little piece on the Boule. A sister in the audience heard the lecture, went to her teacher, who was asking her to write a term paper. She said, I'm going to write it on the Boule and Skull and Bones, because I heard the guy mention it at the lecture hall. And he said, well, I'm in the Boule. I can't wait to see it. He asked to take her to lunch. She's a very nice-looking sister. He asked to take her to lunch. She called me up. I come back to L.A. She called me here in L.A. at the hotel, asked me what should she do. I asked her if she could have lunch with him without lifting up her skirt. Because that's what the Boule wanted. Wanted the Boule day. So, sister proudly called that she had gotten a history book from him, which has a huge blue cover. It's coded in blue. Their colors are blue and white. It's a big blue color. We know blue as the color that represents the lower lodges of Freemasonry. Those are the blue lodges, the 1, 2, 3 lodges. And we know the tenet that holds the blue lodge together is the code of silence. That's what holds the blue lodge together. The code, that's all they learned. The secrets have not really been taught them because they're not taught to them till later on, but they think they know. But the 1, 2, 3 lodge is about testing their ability to keep the damn mouth shut. All right, give me a check on that. Yeah. That's why the United Nations is called the Blue Helmets. That's right. That's why the police are the men in blue or the blue lights. Check. Because that's what and that's why their organization is called the Fraternal Order of Police. And I don't know what Willie Williams thinks, but if you take a white boy that's been my enemy, that supported Gates, supported every beating of your head every time, and make that asshole motherfucker deputy mayor over the brother. That's right. I'm telling y'all, y'all in big trouble. Y'all excuse my language. But
get it? You get it? He said the book is covered in blue and white. He said the book is covered in blue and white. What other things are blue? The police, the sirens. Why would any black organization have any connection or ties to the Skull and Bones, number one? And then number two, well, we know why, but it's rhetorical. Why would they have any connections to them people? And then also, why would any black organization have any likeness to the things? Yes, police cars, uniforms, all of that. All of that. Democrats, darling Nikki, you cooking. You cooking. You cooking. You are cooking. It's all a connection, y'all. Listen, this shit ain't rocket science. I promise you. I say this all the time. Black people, we have been blindfolded for so long. We don't even recognize that the blindfold is off our eyes because we so used to having it, our eyes are closed. We live in a society of information. Any and everything you ever need to know is at your fingertips. No other person in society, both past or present, has had this, well, in the past, has had this access to knowledge. When I was in school, you had to carry your ass down to the library, go to the Dewey Decimal System, pick out, you know what I'm saying? Fiction, nonfiction, whatever. It was a lot. Now you can literally go on your phone or your computer or your iPad or it's right there. The blindfold is lifted off your eyes, fat. You just walking around like this. This shit ain't rocket science. All you gotta do is open your eyes. It's right there. It's right there. And when you see it and you read it and you understand it and then you turn around and look around you and say, holy shit. You feel what I'm saying? Thank you for the super chat version, love. She says, a little bit for the babies. Happy holidays. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You guys, y'all are amazing. Thank you so much. Let me go to another part of this. And then another part, I got a couple more parts I want to show y'all. Then we're going to get to the doggone thing. Because we could be here all night, y'all. We really could.
Right now, this is an old Boule journal. They have a magazine called the Boule Journal. That's what the old Boule Journal looked like. Then came a later version of the Boule Journal to look like that. As they're constantly redoing their fronts. This is the founding of the DC chapter. Some of those names, if anybody's in here on Omega, you'll see Ernest Just, Carter G. Woodson, E. French Tyson, E.C. Williams, Garnett Wilkerson, Milton Francis, John Francis, Kelly Miller, Charles West, Ernest Just, James Cobb, Robert Terrell, Roscoe Bruce, Fonzo. Just every chapter usually has a picture in the history book like this of the members when they formed that chapter. Again, for their own history, for their own group, allowing each of them to protect what is important to them, which is their tradition. This is a very important thing for them. Of course, we know that there's a group of them. And they work in and out of a group. We know, as we look later, that they work off the number 9. That the 9 number includes the 4 male and the 4 female, which in fact gives us a clue that it's a package deal. That we could not just be against one, we had to be against all.
Divine 9. Now, I'm not a numerologist. I'm not into numerology like that. But I've peeked my pinky toe into it. The numbers play a significant part and role into what is happening. The divine 9. Watch how he break down this 9. Watch this.
Because they all were hooked together. and that no one was any separate from the other. Let's see here. Here's a eulogy to Charles Wesley, who wrote the history book. In this eulogy to Charles Wesley, we learned several things about the Boule, which we had not learned in the past. This was quite an accident. In fact, let me just slip this up ahead of you. This was the story from the Memphis Commercial Appeal, the Army's Black Spy Network. That was a story you all might have heard about it on KPFK. Somebody read it out to you. Army's Black Spy Network dates back to 1917. I'm not going to spend all night showing this, but here, right here, Baker's special assistant was Emmett Scott. Newton Baker says here, the spy system that would question the loyalties of Black Americans for generations began May 3rd, 1917. That day, Secretary of War Newton D. Baker ordered Von Demon to crank up the department's sleepy military intelligence division. Newton Baker had a special assistant's name was Emmett Scott. Emmett Scott became the grandsire archon of the Boule. Robert Moulton, Booker T. Washington's successor at Tuskegee Institute, came aboard, as did C.V. Ronan of Nashville, who sent Loving, who worked for DeMond, a list of potential Black informants and troublemakers. So we're looking at 4 Boule men who in the early 1900s were locked into a story that really came out about Martin King. The key to the story was that when we investigated the names, we found out they were Boule members. I bring that up in collaboration with the earlier shot I showed of the cell of Skull and Bones at Yale, because they then began to depend upon the Boule to identify people around the country, which is very interesting because that meant that you could be fingered unjustly. Wouldn't it be some old Boule come up and fingered you as a troublemaker? This is a modern day Boule journal, the inner sleeve of the Boule.
Are y'all tracking what he's saying? Part of what the Boule was doing, part of their job, was to point out the troublemakers. These is Black people who look like you, Black people who look like me. Part of their job was to tell remember what I told y'all? The original meaning of Boule, advisors to the king or king's advisors. Remember that? Remember that. The way this works is part of their job was to point out the troublemakers. When Fred Hampton was unalive, there was a spy that infiltrated him that looks like us. There's never nobody who don't look like us. It was a spy who looked like us who assisted into his unfortunate demise. As it pertains to Malcolm X, the same thing. Unfortunately and crazily, the same with Martin King, MLK. They have multiple jobs. Remember, I told y'all to control the mind and mind control. I say control the mind, meaning like, hey, y'all, chill, non-violent. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. Remember that? That's controlling the mind, or mind control. And controlling the mind is what we would say if Diddy is allegedly a part of the Boule. Diddy fed us the rock. Diddy fed us vote or die, vote blue no matter who. All of the horrible dreams of Bad Boy Records. Diddy has done horrible things to the Black community through music. When you see something amplified so much in the media, ask yourself why, especially if it's Black. When you see anything Black amplified in the media, always ask yourself why. Them people don't fuck with us like that. Ask yourself why.
Journal, listing the officers of the Grand Boule. I think I'll use this as a chance to show you what the officers are, what positions are in the Boule. I'm not good at saying Greek, so you have to bear with me as I read what their Greek name is. See, this was the Grand Sire Archon. This was the immediate past Grand Sire Archon. This is the Grand Sire Archon-elect, who just resigned as a new guy now. This was the Grand Grammateus. That's the next position of the Grand Sire Archon. Then the position is Grand, how you say that?
The third.
Grand
Thesaurus.
Thesaurus. Okay? I ain't good at Greek, so I ain't gonna be able to do it good. This was a guy who became school superintendent in Chicago. Dr. Matthew G. Carter, he was the Grand Grafter. This guy was the Grand Leading Archon. This guy is the Grand Lecturing Archon. The next guy is the Chairman of the Committee on Audit and Budget. Theodore Jones, interestingly enough, when COINTELPRO came out, Theodore Jones, who was the Chairman of the Board of the NAACP, got revealed as having been an FBI informant for J. Edgar Hoover.
Boom. Remember, if y'all have been fucking with me on these Educational Fridays, everything tying in. Listen, Lindas. And listen, Lindas. Oh, yeah, baby. Look, DJ Rob, I know I'd have been a troublemaker. Oh, I already know. Listen to what I'm about to say. If y'all been fucking with me on my other lives, y'all know what I'm about to say is dead true. This man just said that there were infiltrators inside the not even infiltrators. Let me back that up. That the NAACP, remember I told y'all at the beginning of one of my lives, I said the NAACP ain't shit. Martin Luther King fucked black people up for the rest of our. Remember I was going off and I said, if you got thick, thin skin, this was not the life for you because I'm a fuck your whole childhood up. Remember that? He's saying that they found that a brother inside of the NAACP was an FBI agent or informant. That don't even shock me. You know why? Because I understand how the two marry. I understand how the two work hand in hand. I understand how they interlock. See, once we get past assuming because we have this in common, that everything's okay, we're going to move strides. We're going to move strides. The NAACP never helped niggas. I know they bailed out a couple of niggas from jail during the movement and all of that and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's no different from Cam Newton or one of these celebrities saying, but I give out turkeys every year in New York. Nigga, how does that help black people though? Y'all got to be strong.
He was always, for many years, the treasurer of the Boule, and between 84 and 86, he was the Grand Sire Archon of the Boule. The chairman of the Social Action Committee, chairman of the Constitution Committee. So those are some of the positions that make up Boule. And we be up on that, basing it on, in fact, here are the current Boule leadership disappeared. See, if you don't know the names or aren't familiar with it, they can put it right in front of you and you wouldn't notice it. This is the Society World page of Jet Magazine.
The Black Caucus is synonymous with what we're talking about. Y'all ever notice we have a whole so-called political group called the Black Caucus? What does it help black people? When have they ever done anything to help black people? Ever. We see them, but they don't do shit. Because they're not supposed to do shit. That's just visual for you to believe that there's somebody working on your behalf. Them people don't give a good goddamn mammy mother F about what's going on with black people. They don't. They worried about their pockets, their money, and their family. That's all they doing.
August 10th, 1992. It's hidden right in the middle of the story. Well, there we go. It's right up top. Cocktail chit chat. When the 41st Grand Boule of Sigma Pi Phi fraternity convened at the Flush, they always brag about how plush or how prestigious their location is. Westin Crown Center Hotel in Kansas City, immediate past Grand Sire Archon Benjamin Major of Oakland, California, passed the gavel to the new Grand Sire Archon Hugh D. Perkins of Baton Rouge. Anybody know him? Know of him? I'd like to know what he does. African Americans working together for progress. It's like I can go with you but not know you. I'm gonna marry you but never met you. Was the theme of the Boules? Roy Roberts, manufacturing manager of General Motors Corporation, Flint Automotive Division, was the dynamic keynote speaker. An evening dinner lecture of the history of Kansas City jazz at an enjoyable picnic where more than 784 Archons and their families feasted on some of the delectable Gage's and Son barbecue. Could we get some pictures of that Boule eating them bones? Were among the Boule highlights, accolades were heaped upon the General Chairman Elmer Jackson Jr. and his state of Boule, Kansas City, Archons and the Archhouses. A Boule wife is called an Archhousler. And when a Boule member dies, his Boule pin has to be given to the wife to be buried in his grave with him. It has to be buried in his coffin. To get into Boule, a person has to recommend you. Your name is taken to a Boule committee. The committee investigates your history. Having investigated your history, they have a vote recommending you for membership or not. Then you are approached and asked. In other words, thousands may be investigated and never initiated. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
In fact, here's let me see, here's some Boule song. Boule is steeped in symbolism. Here's a picture of Emmett Scott, who I showed you on that article, as he became the Grand Sire Archon at the meeting that was held in Los Angeles in 1941.
Do you guys notice anything similar to all of these Grand Sire Archon, all of these leaders? Do they not all look Poisson Blanc? Do they not all look Poisson Blanc?
You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do they not all look white passing? Y'all hit the like button, please. Do they not all look white passing? Let me fuck y'all head up. Y'all know who founded the Muslims, the American Black Muslims? You know it was a clear man, right? But who did they put in charge of it? The so-called Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The so-called Honorable Elijah Muhammad was a Poisson Blanc, aka white passing Negro. Biracial, nevertheless, white passing. All of the people that are in charge of what's going on around here, they hardly ever look like me. They hardly ever have the beady bees in the back of the head. Y'all see my beady bees? They look. Let me hide the comments so y'all can see the beady bees. So y'all can see the beady bees. How Martin used to say, the beady bees. Y'all see them beady bees? They hardly ever have them. Let me move it around. You see the beady bees? They don't hardly have them beady bees back there. Ask yourself why. You know, this might be a coincidence, which I don't believe in. However, yes, I am Pam Ty. Yes. I'm Pam. I'm BDB. BDB. I'm BDB. Y'all, I went natural. I don't get no perms no more. So the BDB's coming in. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see them BDBs? Stop acting crazy. I'm proud of my BDBs. But the point I'm making is this may be coincidence, but I'm telling you now, I don't believe in no coincidence. I'll say this. Typically, Black people of darker hue or darker skin are more outspoken. I know it gets played up in stereotypes when it pertains to movies. That's why Pam is the ghetto loud girl and Gina is the cute, quiet, light-skinned girl. Or on House Party, remember the Black best friend lived in the projects where the boy was making Kool-Aid and they was ghetto and they was hood, while Gina's character, the light-skinned girl, was from a well-to-do family and they did well. I know it plays up to those tropes and stereotypes, but there is truth to every single stereotype. That's why it's a stereotype. The stereotype is Black people love fried chicken. If a white person say that, everybody in this doggone comment section gonna be windmilling. But when we stop windmilling, we all know we love a good piece of fried chicken. Come on now. Girl, fried chicken, we Black folk love fried chicken, but we just don't want to hear you say it because of the negative connotation behind what you're saying. But as a collective, Black people do love fried chicken. We do. They got some of us who don't. Unicorn says she don't like it. I love it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. I do. I love it so much to a point where I ain't gonna lie. If I'm somewhere where it's a lot of clear folk and the fried chicken right there and watermelon, listen, I will not eat watermelon in front of a clear person. Is that weird? Because I know what they thinking, even though, Lord, I want a pizza. It's so refreshing. It's so good. But just because it's a collective of clear people, bitch, I will pass. Do you hear me? Bitch, I'll have a glass of water before you see me bite through that watermelon, bitch. Now, when I go home, I might go stop at the grocery store and pick me up a little watermelon or whatever. Or if I'm at a Black cookout, I'm going to eat me a piece. But if I'm around a majority or a group of clear people and they got watermelon, bitch, you do better seeing Bigfoot than seeing me pick up a piece. That don't mean I don't want it. That's not what I'm saying. I want it. But bitch, I know the tropes and the stereotypes behind you saying something about me eating it. So bitch, I ain't doing it. But every nigga know, every Black person know, when they get to the cookout by their family and somebody got fresh watermelon out there, we the first ones running over there to the watermelon, bitch. We all do it. Thank you, Kanisha, for the super chat. Just like that mayor in ATL in the 80s who didn't do anything about, let me go back and see it. Let me go see it. Who didn't do anything about all those Black kids going missing, and were found unalive, He definitely was a clear path, The further removed from the community, the easier you are to control and use to be infiltrated or to infiltrate the community because you're removed. If you see yourself as better than or different from, you're probably not going to, you know what I'm saying? You're probably going to be easier to control. And this goes back to my original statement. My Black ass, and I ain't even darker than dark, but my Black ass, I can't escape my people, even if I wanted to be not racist, colorist. Even if I wanted to be colorist, bitch, every morning I got up in the mirror and brushed my teeth, the good Lord in the mirror would remind me, tread light, bitch. You one of the people you can't deal with. So typically, it won't happen most of the time, not all the time. It's harder for a person who looks like me to wear that outfit. But when you have that adjacency to that, it hit a little different. I ain't gonna hold y'all. It hit a little different. Thank you for this super chat, O'Neal. It hit a little different. All right, y'all. Let's finish this up so we can get the, y'all been paying attention, right? I need everybody right now. Make sure you're at the most current part of this video. I see some late comments. Everybody right now, I'm gonna play some more. Make sure that you refresh your page or refresh your video and make sure you're at the end, the very, very end of this video. Make sure, because when I ask the comments, I don't want you to answer the question late and then you miss out. If you've already won, do not participate. Let people who haven't won get a chance to win something for their kids. I'm buying Christmas gifts for y'all badass churn. You know what I'm saying? So make sure, and once you get to the most current part of this chat of this video, put a 1 in the chat so I can know we good. Once you are at the most current part of this video, put a 1 in the chat so that I know we're good. Okay, let's get back into it.
In fact, here's let me see, here's some Boule song. Boule is steeped in symbolism. Here's a picture of Emmett Scott, who I showed you on that article, as he became the grandsire Archon at the meeting that was held in Los Angeles in 1941. And I said, as I mentioned earlier, isn't it strange that the Boule meets in Los Angeles and meets up at the Greek Theater in Griffin Park? And I went up there after the radio show the other day and looked at the symbolism up in Griffin Park and at the Greek Theater and at that Manly Palmer Hall location that sits down another one of those streets, Manly Palmer Hall, who was a big-time Masonic writer. And there's a ton of symbolism hidden in and around those areas. And soon we'll get it on videotape and share it with you. Some of the things we saw that we went around on that little escapade there up in the mountain. Selection of Emmett Scott as grandsire Archon was one of the singular events of the Sigma Pi Phi's history, which had significance for its war relationships during these years. Archon Scott had served during World War I at the years 1917 to 1919 as Special Assistant to Secretary of War Newton Baker. Well, that only further verifies where he was, but it doesn't say he was a spy.
My bad, y'all.
Had significance for its war relationships during these years. Archon Scott had served during World War I at the years 1917 to 1919 as Special Assistant to Secretary of War Newton Baker. Well, that only further verifies where he was, but it doesn't say he was a spy. Which the story collaborated he was. Now, y'all all right? Y'all need intermission? No. Y'all look like y'all hot. Now let the people standing up make some decision. Y'all all right? Yeah. Y'all okay? Yeah. Okay. Now let's get into a little further the symbolism of the organization and where it picks up certain things. Speaking of symbolism, let me set that up there a minute, and you look at that. See if you can get the symbolism out of that. Thank you, brother. See if you can get the symbolism out of that. Maybe somebody might want to stand up and say what that is. That's the cover of the book written by that white guy, right? Y'all remember that? Yeah. What's that other picture up there?
Skull and bone. Skull and bone. What's that at the feet?
Cat.
What's that at the feet? Black dragon.
Some black dragons biting at Clinton's feet. Clinton is on what?
White horse.
And what did it say would happen when the white horse came?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, check.
Yeah.
Now, how much do they need to tell us before we know what they mean? Do we need to say any more?
No.
So that's the climate under which we operate.
What is that?
Here's what they call a Boule song. Listen to this. Let me take a sip here.
See.
Listen, and this is why this plays a part into Divine Nine. They all have their songs. They all have the things they have to memorize. All of them have this in other words and in other ways. Listen, Linda's and listen, Leonard's. He's about to explain the song. The song that these people not only have to know, but they have to memorize it and they have to understand it and believe it. Listen to the words of this song. It's insanity. I'm telling you. And this is why I want to do the Boule first, because number one, they were created before the Divine Nine. And let me say this to anybody who's in the Divine Nine or anybody who's a part of the Divine Nine or affiliated or whatever the case may be, a lot of you guys may not understand what you're a part of. This video, this live is not to tell you to quit. It ain't for none of that. It's just to educate. That's all. Because my whole purpose of Educational Fridays is to re-educate on things that we were miseducated on. A lot of people think Divine Nine, Boule, all of that's just about camaraderie. It's just about being together. It's about Black people understanding each other. But I always ask myself, why under the Greek guys, though? It don't make sense. So some of you may not get it. Some of you may be offended. I'm talking about the replay game. Some of you may be offended. If you are, that is not what this video is intended to do. You could either agree with it or disagree with it, and that's fine. I don't have no problem with that. I'm just trying to help you out with some things you may not have known. That's it. That's it. Now listen to the song, and then we're going to start doing the trivia.
Give me a 1 and a 2.
1 and a 2.
From far. No, you're right. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you. From far and near, you've traveled here over rough and rocky road to reach the open portals of Sigma Pi Phi blessed abode. Our hearts, our homes to you belong, and glad we are that you have come to share our fellowship song, to share our fellowship song. Each archon who has dared to taste of the cup that threatened death, dear Sigma Pi Phi will defend with his life and dying breath.
Pause. Where else do people drink of a cup? Put it in the chat. I'm not saying it's the same. I'm just saying it's a coincidence. They kind of alike. Where else do people drink of a cup? As Black people, most if not all of us has done it. You see what I'm saying? Y'all tracking. Y'all tracking. Y'all tracking. Y'all tracking. Y'all tracking. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just pointing out a coincidence. That's all I'm doing. When y'all go down there for the communion, yes, ma'am. When y'all carry your ass down there for the communion, where else do you drink of a substance from a cup? It ain't just the Catholic Church, just all of them. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. How is that different from what he talking about? Just that, real talk. Think about it. I need everybody to put your thinking caps on. Take your personal feelings out of it. Take everything you believe out of it. Take all of that out of it. Tell me this. How is that different from what the church do? Y'all remember in that movie, they cloned Tyrone? They realized that the poison is in all of the churches. They realized that the stuff they was using to mess with the communion was in the perms. Y'all remember that? It was in the perms. And it was also in the church in the what? The grape juice, the communion. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? Do you guys remember that? I'm just trying to see if we on the same page, because I feel like we is. I got some smart subbies. All churches, Yes, ma'am. Every single one of them. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Every single one of them. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just pointing out the coincidence. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm just pointing out the coincidence. Go look. If you haven't seen that Clone Tyrone Hampton's Finest, girl, you need to go see it, child. Go see it. It was in the chicken, the perms. What I just said, black people love chicken. Remember that? The chicken, the perms, and the communion. The chicken, the perms, and the communion. Let's get back into it. Go ahead on, Brother Steve. Go ahead on.
Should any for a Greek assail, his cunning words shall not avail. Our ears are deaf to envy's tale, even deaf to envy's tale. Hear that? They're saying y'all gonna jam us for being a Greek, and we're telling you now we can't hear this shit. And we won't listen to this shit. Because we'll defend what we are to the death. Long as you call a decision, I'll bring you the game. I'm going to read that again. Because there's symbolism in here that we have yet to fully decodify. It says, each archon who has dared to taste of the cup that threatened death. In the ritual, they must use some cup with some liquid to symbolize something. And say, you tell. That's poison in the cup. Dear Sigma Pi Phi will defend with his life and dying breath. Should any for a Greek assail, they put Greek in quotation marks. Should any for a Greek assail, his cunning words shall not avail. Our ears are deaf to envy's tale, even deaf to envy's tale. Though elsewhere bickerings annoy, here at least are peace and joy. Where friendships built on faith abound, strife and discord near are found. Then drink together, archons dear, the cup of fellowship and cheer. For as the apple of the eye is to us Sigma Pi Phi. For as the apple of the eye is to us Sigma Pi Phi. The apple of the eye. What do that mean?
What y'all believe that means? That last part. If the apple of the eye is Sigma Pi Phi, if the apple of the eye is Sigma Pi Phi, what do you believe the apple of an eye is? You know how a man see a woman and be like, oh, she's the apple of my eye. You know what I mean? Hey, hood hacks, you on to something. They ain't ready for that. Yes, most precious, most valuable, most precious, most upheld, most beautiful. For the apple of the eye is Sigma Pi Phi. That if the apple of the eye is the alpha, unfortunately, for lack of better terms, of whatever your eye sees as beauty, the highest. Thank you, S.T. Ferguson. Thank you so much. It is the highest of all highs. So if the apple of the eye is Sigma Phi Pi, in the verse or so before that, they said, we will hide our eyes to people who basically trying to expose it, meaning we gonna act stupid, know nothing party, don't know what you're talking about, what you mean, most esteemed, all seeing, all of that, highly exalted, above all else, all of that. All of the D9 have similar things and oaths that they take. I hear the songs when they be up in there. I done been to many crossing overs of the people. Done heard it, didn't even realize what I was listening to until I seen this video. above the most high exalted, things you are attracted to, the apple of the eye, the most important thing is Sigma Phi Pi. Nothing else can be compared to that. It's the top of the top. These is niggas who look like me, who look like you work with or work for, and because you see their skin color, you think they for you. You see Al Sharpton get up there. You see Tamika Mallory get up there. Tip make a good song. Beyonce make a good tour. If we gonna talk about it, we gonna talk about it. Beyonce do a good tour. Kanye West got the baby North up there hollering. I miss this West. See, that shit trash. I'ma say what everybody don't want to say because they out of worshiping. That shit trash. Cardi B, a clear Latina, is going through it with her nigga, according to her words, and now the whole Barty Gang fan is up in arms, idol worshiping. Who gives a fuck? Welcome to the club. Us black women been dealing with it for years. Black people in 2023's all-seeing eyes are celebrities. That's why when I get on this platform and I say, Krishan, you dirty bitch, you're wrong for this, you're wrong for that, what about the baby? People they try to attack me, but bitch, you can't attack me cyberly. The fuck? Do I look like I'm slow, bitch? Like I'm gonna really get a log off and be like, oh, she said I'm ugly. Oh my God, how am I gonna go through my day? She called me ugly. She said I have BDBs. What am I gonna do? Bitch, please. Bitch, please. Do you hear me? Because we idol worshiping. But that's the apple of the eyes of the people in 2023. He's talking about Sigma Pi Phi. The Boule, the apple of their eye, is the Boule. Bitch, you think when I log out of you telling me I'm an ugly dog, whatever you want to tell me, bitch, you might tell me my fucking eyebrows look like caterpillars, bitch. That's what I would have said if I wasn't me. Bitch, them caterpillar eyebrows, ho. That's what I would have said. Bitch, do you believe that after you say that and I say what I got to say when I press in live, in stream, you believe that when I press in stream, I'm going to be fucked up around here because you said my eyebrows look like caterpillars? Ain't gonna do it. Ain't. Sorry. Ain't. The fuck? What I look like? Bitch, you not even real to me. Not from where I'm at. You're not even real. The fuck? Bitch, when I walk out the door, what you said to me online don't mean a goddamn thing to me. Because, bitch, you not even real. You inside of this right here. You inside of here. Bitch, I can't touch you. And I know that in my face you wouldn't say that. So, the fuck? Nevertheless, back to Sigma Pi Phi. I'm saying that to say that's the apple of the eye. Let's finish this out so we can do this doggone giveaway. Everybody, make sure you are at the most current portion of this video. Fast forward. If you need to go back later, please do that. Make sure you are at the most current portion of this video. Check your video, check everything, and make sure that everything is good, okay? Make sure y'all are up to date. We about to do the what you call them? The giveaway.
The best thing to them, and the apple of my eye. You know, that's the prettiest thing, like the prettiest girl or something. It's the best thing that could ever happen. The other thing when they say
the house, the boat, the yacht, the cars,
the death from the cup, that's what that symbol. You had the skull and cross. That's the poison symbol. It's on everything.
Yeah.
The cup is representative of the grave.
Of the grave?
Grail.
It's interesting that he brought up the word that the cup is symbolic of the grail. Because what we found out is that when you're a skull and bones, when you go over, you're called a knight. Okay. And the night is symbolic of the night of the round table. And that round table is the code word or the buzzword for an upper secret society that's in a book called Anglo-American Establishment, written by Carol Quigley. And in that book, he said in the opening that secret society of which the Rhodes Scholars come from is known as several names. This society has been known at various times as Milner's Kindergarten, as the Round Table Group. Okay, just hold it right there. Look at that page a second if you can read it, because that page is very significant to the discussion of who it is might be the ones that the Boule has to cover for. In other words, they're covering for something. Now we know whatever they're covering for is beastly. Check. Okay, we'll come back to that. Okay. Now that's from Carol Quigley's book. That was the guy who Clinton thanked during his inauguration. I mean, when he won the Democratic convention, he thanked Carol Quigley in his speech.
Really quickly. I'm so glad you brought this up, Talisha. Talisha said what Jay-Z say, it's a secret society. All we ask is trust. Let me riddle me this. I work out to Monster. Y'all remember Monster from Kanye West? I'm a motherfucking monster. That's when Nicki killed everybody. Pull up in that monster automobile gangster with a black bad bitch that came from Sri Lanka. Yeah, I'm in that Tonka, color her Willy Wonka. I'm not really on the new Nicki. I'm an old Nicki fan. I'm an old Nicki girl. The new Nicki, that's a different Nicki. I'm the Nicki, you know, first things first, I eat your brains. Then I'ma start rocking gold teeth and fangs. Cause that's what a motherfucking monster do. He'll dress you from the lands that the monster do. Monster Giuseppe Hills, that's the monster show. Young Money is the roster and a monster crew. And I'm all up in the bank with the funny face. And if I'm famous, I ain't know it, cause my money ain't. I'm an old Nicki. See this new Nicki? She a different girl. That ain't the girl that I knew. That ain't the girl that I know. It's a new Nicki. But think about Jay-Z's verse. I'm so glad you said this, Alicia. She said, what Jay-Z said is a secret society. All we ask is trust. Think about this. In that song, Jay-Z said, none of you niggas have seen a carnage that I've seen. Ice flow, something like ice flow veins in my stream. Then he said, murder, raping. I'm saying the wrong word. I'm trying not to say the words, but you get what I'm saying? That verse right there tell me that Jay-Z done seen, like he said, none of you niggas has seen a carnage that I've seen. Why would that be? It can't be no hood shit, because we done all seen the hood shit. My daughter be 21 December 30th, y'all. My baby be 21 December 30th. She only know Nicki because of me. And she'll tell you that. And she is a so-called bard. But she'll tell you she know Nicki because of me. Shawana said, it's crazy how the video of the male slave just came out when the interrogation happened 3 years ago. The clear man up high are trying to get rid of him at this point by any means. Absolutely. Shanta said, I told y'all, Holy Grail. Yep. Listen, mixtape Nicki, it was Wayne. Stop acting crazy, man. Stop acting crazy. That's the Nicki I know. I don't know this Nicki. I don't know this Nicki. I know old Nicki with the hair, the crazy. You know what I mean? I know that Nicki. I don't know this Nicki. This is a new Nicki. No shade, but this is a new Nikki. I don't know her. She looked familiar, but to me, I don't know her. Listen, Roman need to bring his ass back because somewhere, wherever Roman at, we getting off subject, child. This ain't about Nikki. Anyway, girl, listen, any song Nikki bodied, I know it. She hasn't bodied a song in a long time. This is no shade if you're a Barb. Nikki has not been Nikki for a long time. When Nikki got on Monster and ran Kanye, Jay-Z, Monster Giuseppe Hill, that's the monster show. Young Money is the Rasta and a monster crow. And I'm all up in the bank with a funny face. And if I'm fake, I ain't know this because my money ain't. So let me get this straight. Wait, I'm the rookie, but my features in my shows 10 times your pay. 50K for a verse, no album out. Yet my money so tall that my Barbies gotta climb it. Hotter than the Middle Eastern climate. Find it. Dirty my time run torte wind it. Nikki on them titties and I signed it. Girl, stop acting crazy, girl. Don't do that. 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 But really, I don't give a F-U-C-K. Forget Barbie. Nikki, she's gay. She's on a diet, but her rock is eating cheesecake. And I'll say, boy, the Chucky is child's play. Just killed another career. It's a mild day. Besides, yay, they can't stand beside May. I think me, you, and Am should menage Friday. Pink wig, thick ass, give a whip. This ain't about Nikki, girl. We going some scholarship shit. Girl, let me get back to where we going. Girl, Nikki, go lay down. Nikki, go lay down. I'm trying to teach the people. This is Educational Friday. Nikki, go lay down. Please. Go lay down, Nikki. This is not your time. Go lay down. Please. Let's get back to this so we can get back to where we was going. Shout out to Nikki though. The old Nikki, not this Nikki. This is a new Nikki. Talking about the old Nikki. Yes, Marina, old Nikki for the win. This not this Nikki. I'm talking about the Nikki who made New York, who made them proud. This new Nikki is giving Boogie Down Bronx energy. I'm just saying. The new Nikki, it's just different, you know? The new Nikki keeps y'all on the docket. And I didn't want to do it. And I seen them, and I still might do it. Because, you know, but I be trying to give New York a break every now and again. You know, the old Nikki never had y'all on the docket. But the new Nikki, she about as bad as Hassan Campbell, girl. Let's move on. See what I see. Let's move on.
She said, Carol Quigley is the guy that got me over to Yale. Got me to Oxford. And it was Carol Quigley, who we showed here, has been called the Joe Malachi of political secret societies by his buddies for revealing the fact that there was such a secret society. I thought it was interesting that everybody through reading that? Well, I've said it every lecture I ever had a lecture. Now we only better collaborated the ones who we were always after. So I know we got these suckers. In the book by Manly Palmer Hall on the flower plants, fruits, and trees, there was a tree showing the Knights of the Round Table. What I thought was interesting when I looked at the tree carefully is that in your mind, we always thought about the tree in 12. But if you look carefully, it says the tree of the Knights of the Round Table, you find out that there are 1 knight, 2 knights, 3 knights, 4 knights, 5 knights, 6 knights, 7 knights, 8 knights.
What does this remind you of? Don't that look like what they say the slave ship looked like? I'm just saying, let's move on.
9 knights. Ooh. Those 9 represent the symbolic 9 that's used in the Grecian Sphinx, which we'll be talking about shortly. Now we're going to show from that eulogy of Charles Wesley's. In that same book, that same night, we found this in tribute to Wesley. Look carefully at the wordage. I'll give you a second to read it.
Table round.
You find that for some reason they take Alfred Lord Tennyson and put him on the left side and put Wesley on the right side. And the only thing is similar in both discussions is the damn word round table. Model for a mighty world. What's that in the man's hand? What's that in the man's hand? Brother Quasi, does that have any symbolism there, that little spike with the light on it?
Yes, sir.
What would that mean?
Prometheus. Prometheus is the one who stole the light. All the Greeks had to pass burning sands coming across the Sahara to Mount Olympus, and the light was from Ethiopia. That's why we got the Statue of Liberty, because the French gave America the Statue of Liberty because they are the land they got.
Listen, Lenders and listen, Leonards. Do you guys recall every time I talk about New York, what is the first thing I say? I say, you know, the people up there, I say New Jersey, y'all up there too. And they say, why? I say, because y'all got to pass the lady with the light, like Motel 6, who she keep the light on. Y'all remember? Do y'all ever recall me saying that? I call it a green lady. Thank you, Marina. Thank you, Marina. I be saying the lady with the, and when I have my Sprite, I be saying, look, the can green, the green lady. Yes, Dolly. Yes, Dolly. Yes, Dolly. I say it every time. When listen, I be trying to give y'all the tea in the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But I be saying the lady, the green lady. And I always say, who keep the light on, like Motel 6. Y'all ever recall me saying that? She always keep the light on. The lady. Wait. Sometimes I say the heifer. The heifer. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. In 1993, I was 10 years old, bitch. 10. I didn't know nothing about this man. I'm just saying it's kind of crazy. You get it? That's all I'm saying. But let's hurry up and end this out so we can get out of here.
Oh, shit. You see what happened? Where's the light going from which hand to which hand? It's going from the left to the right. So the white man just stole the light and he gonna let the Boule hold on it. When it was theirs from the jump. And that's what the stolen legacy does. It empowers one who's thieved. Now, whatever they're saying up there, it must be in code because it don't make no damn sense when you read it. In the fair order of the table round, a glorious company, the flower of men, who rode about redressing human wrong. They spoke no slander, nor listened to it. When served as a model for a mighty world, they loved one maiden only. One maiden. What is that? What is a maiden? What's a maiden?
A virgin stole somebody else's woman.
A woman that stole somebody. So they say it's a group of maiden horses running. Those horses stole on.
It's a woman that's been untouched. A virgin. A woman that's been untouched and pure. Yeah, a virgin.
A virgin. A maiden. They loved one maiden only. That don't mean they wives now. And they lived for her through years of noblest deeds. And then here come Wesley. Here come Wesley with some more cold shit. The round table lives. Now he jumps down and makes it make-believe again. Only in poetic life and history. They can live again in us. And we can make them live through us. It can continue as a dream. And it can continue again through us.
You know what this reminds me of, y'all? And I'm going to stop this right here because we could be here all night, child. This is what this reminds me of. You know, I love me some old school music. I actually listen to more old school music. I don't listen to nothing new school. I don't know who them churn is. I don't know what they saying. I don't know nothing going on. I ain't even going to hold you. But I love one of my favorite R&B artists is is Luther Vandross. Luther Vandross has this song called Superman. And in that song, one of the lyrics says, Superman can fly high up way in the sky, 'cause we believe he can. Back it up. He says, Superman can fly high way up in the sky, 'cause we believe he can. So what we choose to believe can always work out fine. This is the big part. It's all in the mind. That's the part. Listen, Lindas, and listen, Lindas, because I gotta tell you, let me say what I got to say before we get to this. Superman can fly high. That's a fictional character. Way up in the sky. Why? 'Cause we believe he can. Have any of you niggas seen Superman? I know I haven't. Seen them on the movie. I ain't know nobody who said they seen them in the sky. So what we choose to believe can always work out fine. Why? Because it's all in the mind. Why is that important? I told you enslavement started here before it started physically. Psychologically, they had to enslave you. Psychologically, today, we are still enslaved. We got a whole bunch of black folks saying they can't do nothing because of the white power structure. It's a whole bunch of black folks saying we can't do this because of that. We can't do it. It's there. It's here. You ever heard of manifesting? You ever heard of manifesting? I tried it. When I was on my hiatus on this Voodoo Doll TV page, on my main page, I remember telling my subscribers I had to be at about 15K. I said, I think I'm going to do 20K. And you know, my sub said, no, Voodoo, you're going to do 25 to 30K by the end of the month. And I said, no. And they said, manifest it. You're going to do it. Right? I got a board. And I wrote it on my board. And I said, and not only did I write it, I believed what I wrote. By the end of that month, not only was I at the 30K, I was beyond the 30K. Why is that important? When it comes to this secret society, Boule folk, and they have a ritual, aka a song, aka whatever is going on, and they're saying, hey, this is so, but then they turn around and say, but it's on some like fairy tale stuff, but you just have to believe it. Everything starts out here. If it don't start here, it doesn't manifest to here. The reason that this exists is because it existed somewhere here. Why is that important? It works for good. It works for bad. It works for yin. It works for yang. It works for positive. It works for negative. If these people who allegedly take this oath are believing what they are saying, reciting, and repeating, it will work out because it is so through here. It is so through here. It is so through here. We are psychologically enslaved before we ever are physically enslaved, even in the back in the day. So when them people say their words and they believe that shit and they stand on all 10, you got to know this part. This the part you got to know. It is so because they believe it. Like Luther said, Superman fly high in the sky. Why? Because we believe he can. That shit ain't just a song. That shit ain't just about Superman. It's way deeper. Words have power. Words have power. I believe you can speak things on your life, both bad and good. This shit ain't that complex. I promise y'all. This shit ain't that complex. This shit ain't that complex. I promise y'all it's not that deep. As deep as y'all think it is, I know it's make me a believer. Look, as deep as y'all think it is, it really ain't. I promise you it's not. The things that you think are just so difficult to tackle, it's not as difficult. Black people don't understand that they hold the power, especially Black Americans. Without Black Americans, the world, not the city, bitch, not the state, hoe, not even the continent, slut, the world crumbles without Black America. But y'all don't even see the value inside of you. That's why you quick to take the dollars and the bucks from the people or the powers that be, because you're not thinking beyond what's in front of you. You don't need no leader. Nigga, God already gave you leadership qualities. You know right from wrong, don't you? You know right from wrong, don't you? You know it's bad to do something negative to a person willingly, right? You know it's bad to know that you're partaking into some negativity that's going to affect your community. You know that. What else you need? Oh, y'all waiting on another Malcolm X? Y'all waiting on another Martin Luther King, Martin Luther the King. Y'all waiting on another leader. Keep waiting. Your ass going to be right where you at. Keep waiting. Now, let's move on. Anyway, let's go into trivia. All right. I'm going to give everybody a chance. Everybody make sure you are at the very current part of this video. I need everybody to be at the current part of this video. Every single person, I need y'all to refresh, fast forward, whatever it is you need to do to get you at the current part of this video, because now we go into trivia. If you have won already, sit it out, Fat. Sit it out. If you won already, sit it out, Fat. Give somebody else churn a chance to make it. After December 31st, I will be doing giveaways for the subbies. Right now, I'm worried about your churn. So let me get the churn out the way. And then January 1st, it's subbies. And whatever y'all want, I'm here for it. Please join the Discord, because that is where Rocky, or what I call her Rocky, Miss Parker, Roxana, she's going to be there to assist you in everything you need to create your cart on Amazon and everything else. Are y'all ready? Put a 1 in the chat when y'all ready. I'm going to wait for y'all to be ready. Put a 1 in the chat when y'all ready. I need to know everybody is ready so we can get this out of the way and we can get on up out of here. All right. All right, Ty. See you, boo. Quality CPR for all Inc. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thanks, Voodoo. I never wanted to be famous, and this is why. Explain many NOs, any nose barriers, and beloved niggas. P.S. Invented mobile CPR John. What that mean? Invented mobile CPR John. You invented something? Invented mobile CPR John. Are you from Philly? I don't understand it, the last part, but I'm sorry. All right, let's get into it. First question, the very first person who answered this question will get $50 worth of whatever the hell you want down there on Amazon. Create your cart, $50, send it to me. I won't see your address. All it takes is for you to create the cart, put your address in, send it to me. Boom, I click add to cart, and then I pay for it, and your churn got a gift, okay? Let's get into it. The first question. What fraternity was the Black Boule originally copying or imitating? What is the name of the fraternity that the Boule was copying and or imitating? All right, I think we got one. Neff, you ain't got no kids, but you be answering wrong anyway. Sammy J got it. Sammy J got it. Let me make sure nobody else got it before Sammy J. Let me back it up. Why I keep going back to this? I'm just making sure. Sammy J, you got it. Shout out to Sammy J. That's why I say make sure you are currently at the right part. Make sure. All right, y'all. Sammy J got it. Sigma Pi Phi was the Boule. So it wouldn't be that. It's Phi Sigma Pi. All right. In what year was the Boule organization originally organized? When did they come about? What year? Hold on, we got some people. Go to Discord when you win. If you cannot absolutely go to Discord, I understand. You can hit me up on Instagram, but I prefer you go to Discord. T. Roberts, you're the winner. 1904. That's the year the Boule came into play. 1904. May 15th to be exact. But 1904. Y'all got to make sure y'all current. Y'all got to make sure y'all refresh and current. Let's move on. That's all right. Who was the founder of the Boule? Who was the original founder of the Boule? Somebody said Coakley. Y'all got to stop with all of that. Y'all got to stop with all of that. Y'all ain't got it yet. Let me see. Let me scroll down. I'm listen, Lindas. I'm at the top, so I know I ain't miss nobody. Where my cursor at? Where my thing at? So I know I ain't miss nobody. So it don't matter when you answer. Just know I'm at the top from the last answer, and I'm scrolling down. Somebody was close. SB got it. SB got it. Shout out to SB. Somebody said a white man. Girl, y'all is crazy. I said jelly beans. Girl. I cannot. Make you a card on Amazon, and then we could go from there. All right. Next question. What organization did the Boule model themselves after? What organization did the Boule model themselves after? If you need help with the Discord, hit up what you call them? I'm watching. Nope. There you go. Dolly got it. Wait. Let me scroll up. Dolly got it. I seen Dolly get it. Dolly got it. Shout out to Dolly. Dolly, make sure you make your card on Amazon, whatever you want. No electronics. I don't do electronics. I do toys. Toys for tots. That's what we call them in New Orleans. Toys for tots. Okay? All right. And for the final question, and I'm going to get up off of here. And everybody who won, Shout out to y'all. Make sure y'all hit up Miss Parker on Discord. Girl, somebody say Illuminati. Girl, y'all crazy. Nah, I feel like that's too easy. What medical? Nope. Never mind. Because I gave it away. Lily say I need easy. I'll do the last one, the easy one. All right. Name a historic black figure in the Boule. That's easy. Name a historic black figure in the Boule. Whatever first one come with a figure in the Boule, you got it. Yeah, but you ain't got no churn, Neff. Jasmine got it. Neff, you ain't, wait, hold on. Let me scroll up. Jasmine, you ain't got, Neff, you ain't got no churn. Marina got it. MLK. That's an easy one. All right, y'all. Listen, Lindas and listen, Lindas. Everybody who won, congratulations. I love your kids, even though I don't know them churn. I don't care what you do or what you say to them kids. I don't care if you say you bought the gifts. I just only request that you don't say a clear white man with a big belly and a beard bought your child these gifts. I'd rather you say you sold coochie for it. You know what I'm saying? Than anything else. Just don't tell them churn. Some clear man bought it for you. That's all I'm asking. That's my only request. Go ahead on. Y'all create y'all's stuff in there, $50 each. Know this, I don't do electronics. I'm not buying no nothing, no Apple nothing, no, that's what's messing up our churn now. Listen, we'll be back. I'll have another page for Educational Friday so we can separate that from these pages, and then we'll be fine. I appreciate everybody who coming in here. Now that we know about the Black Boule, I don't know if we're going to go to Freemasonry next or if we're going to go straight to the D9. Whatever it is, I'm still researching. We will do this. Catch me every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern for Educational Friday. I will direct you to the new channel whenever I decide what the name will be. I love each and every one of you guys. I just hope that you guys wake up and open your eyes. The blinders are off. In 2023, the blinders are off. It's just up to you to open your eyes. That's all I'm asking. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. Y'all know how we roll around here. We jokes in, we jokes out. See y'all later. Love y'all. Bye.
Can you hear me now? Oh, let's go. It's your boy Big Chew, the voice of the beat.
You know what I want?
Blaze up.
Come on, blaze up.
It's a beat for me.
Wow, 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 wow. For your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we love. For your boy. For your boy. Also for your boy. Fix it for your boy. Drop it for your, wow, 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 lift it up.
Please wake up.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.